From online love to reality, the stunning campus beauty turns out to be my girlfriend. Classmate, do you have a girlfriend? On the military training field, Liang Hui looked at the blushing campus beauty in front of him. Sorry, I already have a girlfriend. The entire school went crazy. This stunningly beautiful, cold campus goddess had actually taken the initiative to pursue a man, and what's more, she had been repeatedly rejected. During the day, Liang Hui was practically the epitome of a dense, unresponsive straight guy, ignoring all the advances from the beautiful campus goddess. At night, Liang Hui, baby, are you there? Online girlfriend, yes, are you done with class? When summer vacation comes, I'll come find you and we'll meet in person. Online girlfriend, sounds good. When they finally met in real life, Liang Hui was stunned. Baby, you're actually that passionate campus beauty. Chapter 1, Talent Show. A star is born. On the football field, thousands of students sat in a large circle. Most of the students were freshmen wearing camouflage uniforms, with a small group of upperclassmen observing them, sizing up the younger students. Tonight is our talent showcase session. All you freshmen better seize this opportunity. It's a chance to earn priority in selecting a partner for the next 4 years. The stern-faced instructor at the center of the field had completely changed his demeanor from earlier. Yeah. The freshmen, who had been exhausted from the day's military training, were now as excited as monkeys, shouting and cheering. However, the more excited the atmosphere became, the less any student dared to be the first to step up and perform. Liang Hui, didn't you participate in the school celebration during high school? It's your turn to perform now. 4 years of priority partner selection, man. Liang Hui helplessly looked at his best friend. Your voice is really loud, aren't you just pushing me onto the stage? As expected, the instructor was looking for trouble. Immediately, he fixed his gaze on Liang Hui. This student has performed before in high school. That's fantastic. The whole field fell silent, and all eyes were now on Liang Hui. Wow, this guy is so handsome. He is good looking and talented, he has the perfect catch. How can this guy be so good looking? He is going to be a strong rival for all the girls. I can't let him get ahead, I'm going up there to perform and beat him at talent. Liang Hui's clean, fresh face looked like the lead character in an anime. The senior girls watching him instantly lit up, their eyes shining like wolves spotting a little lamb. Ding! Host is attracting a lot of attention, super popularity system activated. Popularity points plus 100. Newbie gift pack has been delivered to the system inventory, can be claimed anytime. A cold, mechanical voice suddenly echoed in his mind. Liang Hui's eyes widened. He never thought that one day, he would be the one receiving the incredible system that is usually reserved for protagonists in novels. The super popularity system, as the name suggests, is all about gaining popularity points and using them for lucky draws. Originally, Liang Hui had no intention of going up to perform, but now. Sorry, everyone, I'm not prepared to perform at the moment. Liang Hui stood up voluntarily, unflustered by all the attention, and politely declined. In his mind, he sneered, should I perform right away, or wait and build up some suspense to shock everyone even more? He knew exactly what he was doing. What a pity, the handsome guy can't perform today. I was hoping to see his talent. The female students all shook their heads in regret, but a group of boys, feeling sour, began to taunt. What's so inconvenient? Are you on your period? Or maybe you just don't have any talent, too afraid to perform. Yeah, if you really had talent, who wouldn't he want to show it off? If you don't, just admit it, don't make excuses. Go on stage. Perform. 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 A group of boys began chanting, hoping to see the handsome Liang Hui make a fool of himself and stop him from stealing all the girls. Popularity points plus 300. Liang Hui smiled, thinking, what a bunch of adorable score-boosting tools. He raised his hand to signal for silence. The instructor, who had been watching the situation, didn't he want to cause any harm to the students due to a mistake. All right, everyone, stop talking. We all have times when we're not ready. Let's just let this student wait for a bit, and he can perform later. The military officer's authority was still strong. As soon as he spoke, the students went quiet, though their gazes towards Liang Hui were filled with ridicule. Liang Hui walked directly to the center of the stage. Is he going to perform now? Popularity points plus 100. Taking the microphone from the instructor, he said, "The reason I said I wasn't ready is because I didn't have the right equipment. Let me go back to my dorm and grab it. Is that all right?" Elegant and refined, like a young master. Liang Hui stood at the center of the stage, instantly becoming the center of attention, as if he were born to be in the spotlight. Even the senior girls, who had seen it all, couldn't help but be entranced by his handsome figure, their eyes practically turning to mush. "All right. We'll wait for you, big handsome, we're excited for your performance." HMPH. Trying to make things look more complicated, just to make his eventual performance more embarrassing. Popularity points plus 1000. Under the eager gazes of the students, Liang Hui jogged back to his dorm. There was already a guitar in his dorm, and Liang Hui was decent at playing it. However, he didn't intend to use it. Instead, he decided to check out the newbie gift pack that had been given to him by the system. Open newbie gift pack. Ding! Obtained, one-man band equipment, maxed out skill points, God-level singing voice, God-level street dance. Liang Hui nearly burst out laughing. With this system, his life was going to be incredibly interesting. He spent 10 minutes getting equipped guitar in front, drum set on his back, and various small instruments hanging from his neck, arms, knees, and ankles. 10 minutes already, and he still hasn't come back. Did he chicken out? "Yeah, instructor, we've been waiting for so long already, maybe we should stop waiting for him." The boys, jealous of Liang Hui's looks, started stirring up trouble again. A few minutes passed, and the field grew more and more chaotic. Almost everyone was starting to believe Liang Hui wouldn't return. Suddenly, a beautiful, cheerful sound echoed through the air. Anyone who heard it felt as if they were standing before their vast ocean, and instinctively, they calmed down. Everyone turned to look. Liang Hui, fully equipped, moving with ease and grace, yet not seeming rushed at all, his face showing a serious expression that only added to his charm. In that moment, everyone was stunned. Popularity points plus 5000. As Liang Hui began to sing, those with artistic talent started crying. "I've never heard music so soul-shattering before, such a pure, untainted male voice, it's as if it came straight from heaven. It's like the eyes of God, pitying humanity. With just one note, I felt as though the gates of my soul were suddenly thrown open. What kind of voice is this? It's too beautiful, too intoxicating." All the girls present had eyes full of infatuation that had never been seen before. "So handsome. So talented. I'm not worthy of a guy like him." From afar, a senior girl stared at Liang Hui, her eyes practically spitting fire. She had made up her mind. She quickly took off her jacket, revealing a white shirt that outlined her explosive figure. She was going to make the first move. She rushed to the center of the stage and started dancing sensually to Liang Hui's music. The atmosphere exploded in excitement, and everyone started cheering. Popularity points plus 10,000. However, Liang Hui, watching the senior girl get closer, showed a slight trace of displeasure in his eyes. He was already taken. He had promised his online girlfriend that he would remain loyal, even in a long-distance relationship. Their relationship motto was, "Though we are separated by mountains and rivers, those rivers and mountains can be crossed." He would never get a girlfriend in college. The senior girl, twisting and turning on stage, appeared to Liang Hui as nothing more than a red-skinned skeleton. "Bold and wicked, how dare you try to interfere with my heart's path? Help me on my journey." Chapter 2, Can You Resist Temptation? The atmosphere at the scene was exceptionally hot. Some students even raised their phones, recording videos to post on the school forum and video-sharing websites. The fiery senior had already thrown several flirtatious glances at Liang Hui. As the atmosphere became more intense, she grew bolder. She actually treated Liang Hui like a pole dancer. What's with the monsters and beauties, what a fake disguise. Suddenly, Liang Hui changed the song, performing a very fitting rendition of The Monkey King. Thud. A few students on the scene collapsed to their knees in awe. The fiery senior also stumbled, embarrassed, and quickly retreated into the crowd. Popularity plus 6,666. Liang Hui stood at the center of the stage, his gaze sweeping around arrogantly, daring any seductress to come up and dance. There was no doubt about it tonight, Liang Hui's reputation soared. Especially the moment when his song drove away the fiery senior who was trying to seduce him, this part received a lot of praise and reposts online. Fortunately, the videos posted online weren't very clear, so the senior wasn't exposed. However, that senior had definitely become a celebrity at the school. That night, Liang Hui lay on his bed, a light smile on his face, and took out his phone. He opened the chat with his online girlfriend, Bai Yueguang, who cared about him a lot. "Baby, I became famous today at school." Bai Yueguang immediately replied, "What happened? Was there anything fun?" "We had a talent showcase tonight, and I originally didn't want to go on stage, but my friend pushed me into it." "Wait, did you embarrass yourself?" "Har har har. Oh, sorry, I feel sympathy for you." Seeing the cute head pat emoji she sent, Liang Hui smiled wider. "Do you think I'd embarrass myself in front of everyone? I stunned the whole crowd tonight. One person, a whole band. I even made some students cry with my singing." This time, there was a delay before Bai Yueguang replied. After a while, she sent a message. "Was there a hot girl dancing with you?" Liang Hui felt a murderous intent through the text. "How did you know?" "Oh, so the handsome guy at school is you. Daring to flirt with other girls, you have quite a nerve," angry emoji. "Wait a minute, is that what they are saying around school? Which school are you from? I just realized I never asked, are you from the same school as me, the Huaxia Academy of Arts?" "Or no, you're overthinking. I'm from Shanjiang University of Technology, and your video has already spread across our school." Liang Hui knew that his video was popular online, but it hadn't spread that much. "How about we share our locations?" Bai Yueguang didn't respond immediately, but after a while, she sent her location. It was indeed Shanjiang University of Technology. HMPH. "See? You even doubted me. Baby, it's just that I miss you so much, I can't miss any chance." Slick talker, with all those lies in your mouth, you must be good at winning over girls, huh? Before Liang Hui could finish typing, Bai Yueguang sent another message. "You're almost escaping, but that fiery girl in the video was clearly tempting you. Flies don't circle a seamless egg. Tell me, did you signal her first?" Once again, he felt the murderous intent hidden in her words. One wrong move, and he'd be toast. After careful consideration, Liang Hui wrote a careful reply. "By heaven's mercy, you're really wrong about me. If you don't believe me, search for the follow-up video online. I stayed true to my integrity. Really. I'll go online and check. If I find out you're lying to me." A little while later, Bai Yueguang sent a message. "Har har har, well done. But don't you think it was too cruel to the girl?" Liang Hui rubbed his hands and then picked up his phone to reply. "I didn't lie to you, did I? I've steamed myself just for you. Other women are nothing but red-skinned skeletons in my eyes. For you, I'll remain pure. A tilde remain pure? So dramatic." Bai Yueguang immediately sent another message. "That girl deserved it, trying to flirt with my man. HMPH. Liang Hui felt a warm sweetness in his heart as he read the message from his online girlfriend. "Your man? You're quite the possessive one too, aren't you? We're both the same. All right, you still have military training tomorrow. Go to sleep. Millimeter hum." Just as Liang Hui was about to put down his phone, he suddenly received another message. "You've become famous at school today. What will you do when other beauties start confessing to you?" "I've already given you my answer, I'll stay true to you." "Har. I've got eyes at your school. I want to see if you can resist the temptation of all those beauties." "That's not fair. You're basically spying on me. Not listening. Time for bed, bye-bye." Liang Hui smiled and sent a few more protest messages before turning off his phone. Given his looks, Liang Hui didn't have to worry about lacking girlfriends. In fact, it had always been the case ever since he was young. Girls had confessed to him, but without exception, he had rejected them. Because in those girls' eyes, he only saw a blind obsession with appearance. People age, after all. So, Liang Hui longed for the kind of love he read about in books and saw in movies. A few months ago, he met Bai Yueguang online. He didn't know her name or how she looked, but he loved chatting with her. Lying on his bed, Liang Hui recalled the talent showcase from earlier, still feeling like it was a dream. Did I really get an amazing system? Trying to clear his mind, Liang Hui focused and called out to the system in his head. A faint blue light screen appeared, visible only to him. Host, Liang Hui. Appearance, 97. Charm, 80. Popularity, 23,166. In addition to the information panel, there was also a prize pool. Silver prize pool, 100 popularity points per draw. Gold prize pool, 1,000 popularity points per draw. Diamond prize pool, 10,000 popularity points per draw. System tip: higher level prize pools have a much greater chance of yielding better prizes. Liang Hui looked at the lottery system, feeling a bit frustrated. He had always been unlucky in games and had never won anything. He even suspected that this system had chosen him to make up for his previous bad luck. Being selected by such an overpowered system, his luck with the lottery probably wouldn't be that bad. With a total of 23,166 popularity points, Liang Hui frowned, considering whether to go for 2 diamond draws or just 1. Forget it. Let us go for 1 diamond draw first, check the drop rate, and if it's good, I'll go for a second one right away. System: 1 diamond draw please. Ding. Chapter 3, The Cold, Gorgeous School Beauty Confesses. Ding. Diamond draw, 200,000 mo coins. Shit. Liang Hui, lying on his bed, suddenly sat up in shock. 1 draw, and I got 200,000 for free. This was real money. System: do another diamond draw. Ding. Diamond draw, a stock code for a white wine company with a half-year growth trend. Out of nowhere, a stock alert appeared in his mind. If he invested the 200,000 entirely into this stock, without doing anything, it would be worth 1 million in 6 months. What else was there to say? Buy it. Excited, Liang Hui rubbed his hands together and nervously opened his account to make the purchase. Looking at the 200,000 in his account, Liang Hui knew it would be worth 1 million in half a year. A 5-fold increase. He still had 3,166 popularity points left. System: 3 golden draws and 1 silver draw. Ding. 3 golden draws, God level Swanner skill, God level Swanner, human limit physical ability. Ding. 1 silver draw, charm plus 3. As the system's voice finished speaking, Liang Hui felt a rush of heat surge from the top of his head, as if divine energy was pouring into him. In an instant, Liang Hui felt his body brimming with power. Maybe I could punch a cow to death now. At this moment, Liang Hui represented the peak of human physical potential. It felt amazing. In just one night, with the help of the system, Liang Hui had gained so much from just one talent show. Now there are only 66 popularity points left. According to the theory, the people who saw the video online should be shocked and those reactions should turn into popularity points, right? Maybe there's a delay. Whatever, I'll just get some nearby popularity points for now. He was thinking about how to gain more popularity points when, unknowingly, he fell asleep. The next morning, Liang Hui was woken up by his roommate. Hurry up, there are only 5 minutes left. Liang Hui hastily put on his camouflage uniform, grabbed his cap, and rushed to the field. If he was late for military training, he'd have to run a marathon under the scorching sun. It seemed like he wouldn't be able to gain popularity points during the military training. After a whole morning of standing in military posture and various physical training, Liang Hui gradually calmed down. For an ordinary person, unless they deliberately did something embarrassing in front of others, the chances of shocking them were very slim. The instructor looked at his phone, checked the time, and nodded in satisfaction. All right, everyone, take a break. As soon as the command was given, everyone collapsed like they'd been drained of energy, sitting down on the ground. Exhaustion and weariness were written all over their faces. Liang Hui also sat down naturally. He pulled off his cap and used it to fan himself. He was really tired, but the blazing sun was unbearable. His cap was already soaked through. A little twist and water could be squeezed out of it. Oh, this is killing me, and it's only been half a month. How am I going to survive the rest? If I knew military training would be this hard, I'd have just worn makeup and gone to the girls' military training squad next door. Their instructor already let them rest, and they are sitting in the shade too. Yeah, the place there has less wolves and more meat. Several students sitting next to Liang Hui began to complain bitterly. They almost wished they could faint and be carried off to rest. Standing in the sun for a whole month was hard even for Liang Hui. The worst part was the dry, burning sensation in his throat. Liang Hui pressed his dry lips together. At that moment, if only a chilled drink was in front of him. Even if a beautiful girl were lying there naked, he wouldn't care. Just as he was thinking about it, a sudden sound of footsteps came from the edge of the playground. A female college student dressed in a white dress appeared in everyone's line of sight. She was holding a bottle of ice-cold soda, walking straight toward the team where Liang Hui was. Her skirt fluttered like a gentle wave, and her curves swayed with every step. At the sight of her, all eyes turned to focus on her. A boy in the team stood up and casually took the bottle of soda the senior girl handed him. They were chatting and laughing, and their expressions were full of flirtation. The other single guys in the team were all stunned. Shit. It's only been a few days since school started, and some guy's already hooking up with a senior. Under the blazing sun, after military training, and a girl brings you an ice-cold Coke. That's literally a godsend. The guys all stared at the bottle in the boy's hands, their eyes glowing with envy, like wolves hungry for food. But for them, the bottle wasn't the most important thing. It was the senior girl. The beautiful, youthful senior. The senior with smooth, shapely calves. The senior with a slim, soft waist. The man, holding the senior's hand in one hand and an ice-cold Coke in the other, looked smugly at the envious classmates in the team. Damn, as soon as the senior leaves, I'm going to mess with him. Let him act all cocky. Having a girlfriend is nice. Unlike us single dogs, no one cares about us. Once military training is over, I'm going to get myself a senior too. Liang Hui, overhearing their conversation, couldn't help but shake his head slightly. He wasn't envious at all, because although it was an online relationship, he did have a girlfriend. He just didn't get to enjoy the privilege of having his girlfriend bring him water during training. At that moment, he suddenly sensed something was off. Everyone in the team had turned their heads in unison, all staring in the direction of the northeast. Even the instructors and senior students who were there to supervise the training couldn't help but look over. Is that the campus belle from Liu University? What is she doing at the military training ground? Could she be here to bring her boyfriend water too? Stop talking nonsense. Do you know how many confessions the Liu University campus belle has rejected in the past 2 years? She's a cold, ice queen of a goddess. Under the bright sunlight, in the focus of everyone's gaze, a girl in a blue skirt and a white t-shirt walked onto the field. She stood over 1.7 meters tall, slender and graceful. Her mature, elegant aura caught everyone's attention immediately. She walked with light steps, a faint smile on her face. Her long legs were as white as jade, perfectly proportioned and straight. Her exquisite, delicate features made everyone's hearts race. Liu Shuqiao. A third-year student from the music department. For 2 years straight, she had been selected as the campus belle of the Huaxia Art Academy with an absolute advantage. Liu Shuqiao walked calmly towards the front of the field. And then, she walked directly toward Liang Hui's team. Oh tilde, the Liu University campus belle is coming to our team. The students from the other teams silently screamed in frustration. Meanwhile, every student in Liang Hui's team was extremely nervous, silently hoping that Liu University's campus belle was coming to see them. But no one dared to speak up to greet her. Because she naturally gave off a sense of distance, like an icy mountain. Her gaze swept around. It seemed like she was looking for someone. Even though they were all freshmen who had just entered, they had heard plenty about the Liu University campus belle. Now, here she was, standing right in front of their team. Everyone stood up straighter, not daring to look away. Liang Hui, for some reason, felt like Liu Shuqiao was coming for him. The moment their eyes met, Liang Hui knew he was right. Liu Shuqiao's furrowed brows immediately relaxed, and a smile that could steal the world appeared on her face. She walked straight toward Liang Hui. As the campus belle walked directly toward him, with a hint of mischievousness in her eyes, Liang Hui felt completely confused. What's going on? Did she get the wrong person? I don't even know her. Liang Hui subtly took a step back, shifting slightly to another direction. To his surprise, Liu Shuqiao also changed her direction to follow him. Could this be some kind of plot? That was Liang Hui's first thought, but there wasn't much time for him to think. Liu Shuqiao was already standing right in front of him. Excuse me, do you have a girlfriend? Chapter 4, the world must have gone mad. Excuse me, do you have a girlfriend? R. Before Liang Hui could respond, the students around him couldn't take it anymore. Their expressions twisted, resembling the face in the famous painting The Scream. Students in the distance, seeing the mass of students suddenly kneeling, were unbearably curious. Why is Liu University's campus belle standing in front of that guy? Could she be his sister or relative? Otherwise, the cold, aloof campus belle wouldn't just go up to a guy like that. Let us ask the students over there what Liu University's campus belle said. One of the calmer students answered their curious questions. Spread the word, Liu University's campus belle asked Liang Hui if he had a girlfriend. So Liu University's campus belle wants to be Liang Hui's girlfriend. Liu University's campus belle said she wants to marry Liang Hui. And then the whole field of students twisted in disbelief. Popularity plus 10,000. Popularity plus 20,000. Whoa! Liang Hui had just been thinking that he'd never be able to gain any popularity points again. And now, looking at the stunningly beautiful Liu Shuqiao in front of him, he finally realized just how much weight the title Liu University Campus Belle carried in Huaxia Art Academy. Excuse me, is this problem really so hard to think over? Liu Shuqiao's sweet smile remained, but no one noticed the slight disappointment in her eyes. Sorry, I was distracted for a moment. I do have a girlfriend. After hearing Liang Hui's words, the disappointment in Liu Shuqiao's eyes disappeared, replaced by a new expression, one of disappointment. The students who had been kneeling and twisting in disbelief all collapsed to the ground, almost as though they were about to spit blood. Why did they suddenly fall down again? The students in the distance, seeing the others always a step behind, couldn't he understand? Doesn't he take a genius to figure out? Liang Hui must have said yes. Oh, my goddess. Wait, then why is the goddess's face full of disappointment? Go, ask again. This time, all the students in Liang Hui's team were rolling on the ground, finally voicing their frustration after being asked too many times. Facing Liu University's campus belle's indirect confession, this bastard Liang Hui actually said he had a girlfriend. Spread the word, Liang Hui rejected the campus belle's confession. Bastard! How can Liang Hui not appreciate Liu University's campus belle? Oh! I'm going to kill Liang Hui. How dare he say my goddess isn't good enough for him? And then, all the students on the field collapsed again. Popularity plus 20,000. Popularity plus 30,000. Is your girlfriend also at our school? Liu Shuqiao didn't seem ready to give up. She was leaving. But this was a mistake. Heh. Not really, we're in a long-distance relationship. Liu Shuqiao playfully opened her mouth, nodding, and with a seductive smile, she said softly. Long-distance relationships are hard to maintain, you know. You might break up soon. Liang Hui didn't look too happy. Who are you? Coming here and cursing me to break up? That's none of your concern. After all, having a girlfriend doesn't help with thirst. After saying that, Liang Hui simply turned and walked away. Looking at his retreating figure, Liu Shuqiao let out a soft, genuine laugh. She whispered to herself. He actually passed the test. Looks like he avoided a disaster. Then she too started walking toward the edge of the field. Har har har. The students around them were almost laughing all the water out of their bodies. Just now, the cold Liu University campus belle actually smiled so seductively at Liang Hui. I can't accept this. The worst part is, Liang Hui actually rejected her. He is so shameless, living in bliss and not knowing his fortune. Spread the word, Liang Hui said that the campus belle is far inferior to his girlfriend. What? Liang Hui said my goddess is not even as good as a bottle of water. Where is Liang Hui? I'm going to kill him. A chorus of voices. The students who had been lying on the ground in shock quickly turned their grief into strength. One by one, they were like mad bulls charging toward Red Cloth. Liang Hui, come here. The instructor, worried about what might happen, decided to take action first. Instructor, what do you need from me? Liang Hui felt the severity of the situation, as the system notifications kept ringing in his mind. Popularity plus 50,000. Popularity plus 60,000. Popularity plus 60,000. System reminder, all of the current popularity points have been converted from others' anger. Please be cautious, host. If you die, all of this will be lost. He was dumbfounded. This was definitely not what he expected. It seemed like he had messed up. Should he hide? Liang Hui, how fast are you at running? The instructor looked at Liang Hui, who had left a deep impression on him ever since the night before. So he was going to run. Liang Hui stiffened his legs, nodded seriously at the instructor, as though he was about to take off running. Popularity plus 500. The instructor couldn't help but laugh at Liang Hui's readiness to run. Well, the first year is tough, but not the 15th. Now that I'm here, they won't dare to go too far. If this were in private. Heh. Liang Hui shuddered just thinking about the consequences. Even though his physical abilities had already reached human limits, he didn't know how to fight. Was he supposed to crouch down and take the hits while using his extreme stamina? Instructor, do you mean I'll get hurt less if I just let them beat me up here? Liang Hui's expression was full of grievance. Har, what are you thinking? As an instructor, do you really think I do what you get beaten? The reason I'm asking if you run fast is because I want you to race against them, let them burn off some of that energy. Liang Hui glanced at the instructor, who didn't look as innocent as he appeared, then at the group of students already losing their minds. This was the only solution. He couldn't let them beat him up, but he could make them work hard and burn out their anger. Luckily, his stamina was at human limits, so a simple physical contest wasn't an issue. He nodded solemnly. The instructor, seeing Liang Hui nod in agreement, immediately broke into a wicked smile. Seeing that smile, Liang Hui felt like he was boarding a pirate ship. As expected, his first impression was spot on. This instructor was full of bad intentions. Liang Hui, you were confessed to by the campus belle, and to make things worse, you snubbed her. Do you think that's not shameless? The freshmen, already gathered together, were furious, steam practically coming out of their noses. Shameless. How bad do you want to get him? Bad. Do you want to beat him up? Yes. I want to tear him apart. The instructor watched as the freshman's morale reached its peak, a devilish smile spreading across his face. Good. This afternoon, I'll give you this chance. No tools allowed, but you can hunt down Liang Hui as much as you want. If anyone catches him, you can punch him. If he dares to fight back, you can all gang up on him. But if he doesn't fight back, after one punch, you have to let him go, give him 1 minute to recover, then you can continue hunting. This will be our military training activity for today, following our last talent show. This one will be called Hunting Game. It'll last the whole afternoon. Liang Hui was stunned. Wasn't this supposed to be a race? Why did it turn into a hunt? This instructor is such a bastard. Don't blame me, okay? Believe me, this is the best outcome. Just remember, if you get caught, don't fight back, okay? Heh. The instructor winked at Liang Hui, then raised a starter pistol. Bang! The thrilling hunting begins now. Chapter 5 The Heart of Playing Tactics is Dirty. The hunt begins. As soon as the instructor finished speaking, the freshman rushed towards Liang Hui with red eyes like a beast on the loose. Listen to my explanation. I don't know that school beauty Liu at all, I am a victim. It would be better if he didn't explain. Explaining like this is just adding fuel to the fire. Being confessed by a school beauty is a victim. Then what are we? Liang Hui didn't say anything, but was thinking about what they were. You seem to be just a person. Popularity plus 10,000. Oh, kill him. Popularity plus 5,000. Anyway, I am being chased by you, so of course I have to squeeze out your value. Now Liang Hui's physical fitness represents the ceiling of mankind. On the playground, Liang Hui was far away from a group of classmates, and he seemed very relaxed. Almost everyone in the female team watching the show had peach blossoms in their eyes. He's handsome, versatile, and in great shape. He's a perfect man. I'll vote for him when we select the school idol this year. He's in such a great shape. Slurp. I'm going to support him. One of the heavyweight girls had a hungry wolf expression, licking her fat lips at Liang Hui's figure and drooling. It was then that Liang Hui realized that the situation was not as serious as he had imagined. As the ceiling of human beings, he could always keep a distance of 100 meters from his classmates. However, the classmates following behind him gradually became weak and powerless. Liang Hui sneered. He turned around and ran backwards, and said to the exhausted classmates behind him with a smirk, I'm not targeting anyone, I'm saying that everyone who is running is garbage. Popularity value plus 30,000. Popularity value plus 10,000. Listening to the system prompt sound in his mind, Liang Hui's smile became even bigger. Stop. Everyone, stop first. He obviously still has the energy to tease us. If we want to catch him, we must take a long-term plan. After sprinting for so long with all their strength, they have long been supported by a breath of air. At this time, someone took the initiative to step forward and lead, which was equivalent to giving them an opportunity to relax. A simple-looking short-haired boy came out. Standing in front of the hunting team, he waved at Liang Hui. Fuck, it's you again, Suqing Shu. After Liang Hui saw the appearance of the person who came out clearly, he suddenly felt a headache. Suqing Shu. A close friend who grew up with Liang Hui, a typical black-bellied man. He looks simple and honest, but if you easily believe him, you will definitely be deceived and have nothing left. This is how the two of them grew up while deceiving each other. The person who betrayed him during the talent show last night was Suqing Shu. Yes, it's me. I always suffered more in the previous mutual harm. This time it's different, har har har. Suqing Shu raised his head and laughed, finally feeling proud. Don't be happy too early. You always say this. Admit it, you will never be able to beat me. The way Liang Hui and Suqing Shu get along is more like the kind of enemies and friends of two middle school boys. Suqing Shu snorted coldly and ignored Liang Hui, but turned to look at his teammates. Classmates, the playground is too big, but there is only one goal. If we all gather together, it will inevitably cause a waste of resources. We have to make full use of the advantage of having a large number of people. How to play it? All of us spread out and stand in the entire playground. Everyone only cares about an area around him. Liang Hui fled into that area, and the people nearby immediately surrounded him, and the others rested on the spot, fighting locally from point to surface. One rises while the other falls. No matter how good his physical strength is, as long as he makes a mistake, he can't escape. Suqing Shu's words seemed to have magic. The boys who were originally limp, the flame of hope burned in their eyes again. They seemed to have seen Liang Hui struggling in the big net they formed. We are now staying at the entrance of the playground. We have occupied the geographical advantage. Liang Hui, he can't run away. Action. Song Qingshu raised his arms and shouted. Action. He 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 he. Song Qingshu stood in place, laughing at Liang Hui horribly. The students on the field began to move slowly, and when they reached the selected position, they did not move, but stared at Liang Hui. Liang Hui finally felt the difficulty. The gate of the playground was blocked by them, and the only range of movement was the playground. When Song Qingshu's plan was implemented, it was really like catching a turtle in a jar. And Liang Hui is still the one who is restricted. Har har har, the idea is very good, but Song Qingshu, you overlooked one thing, that is, the mesh of this network formed by your number is a little too big. Your tone is a bit forced, I will give you another killer. Song Qingshu planned and turned his attention to the group of female classmates who were watching the show. He shouted loudly, do you think Liang Hui is a perfect man? This is a great opportunity to get close to him. Think about it if you can catch him. Shameless. When Liang Hui saw Song Qingshu looking at the female classmates, he realized that something was wrong. Even the male classmates who followed Song Qingshu's plan looked at him in fear and made up their minds not to provoke him in the future. Sure enough. After hearing what Song Qingshu said, the female classmates who had been eager to move for a long time tore off the last disguise. They ran to the position they chose without any image, and looked at Liang Hui as if they wanted to eat him. What was even more terrifying was that a girl weighing about 200 pounds ran towards Liang Hui with her arms open and stamped on the ground. Don't come over here. Liang Hui staggered in fear and ran away quickly. Little brother, don't run away. Let me catch you and hug you. If I'm happy, I'll give you a reward. Looking at the fat girl pouting her swollen lips, Liang Hui's scalp tingled and goosebumps all over his body. Liang Hui, look how enthusiastic we are. Be careful. Song Qingshu laughed triumphantly. Their formation had been initially completed, and a large net was still formed. No matter where Liang Hui fled, there would always be someone to stop him immediately. This meant that he needed to keep changing his position, and he had to get through a very small gap. Their mind must be highly concentrated and there must not be a trace of slackness. The instructor, who was already standing on the high platform, stared at the figure that kept dodging in the playground in a daze. He asked the other instructors around him uncertainly. "What do you think? He has maintained such high intensity for a full 50 minutes. I'm afraid even we can't do it. I suspect he is not human. I have only seen this kind of physical fitness in those world-famous special forces, but I always feel that this kid is not familiar with his own strength, and his movements are not concise enough. It should not be obtained through training. This may be the so-called natural power. He is a good seedling. Look, he is finally exhausted. Sweat has soaked every inch of Liang Hui's skin. The high-intensity evasion made his body gradually protest. The body became less coordinated and his head was dizzy. Suddenly, he felt his body stagnate. It's terrible. Someone grabbed his sleeve. Chapter 6: Attack and Defense are exchanged. Who is the hunter? I court Liang Hui. The boy who grabbed the corner of Liang Hui's clothes tightly roared to the sky as if he had won some great award. Actually, it's not his fault, because they were all afraid of Liang Hui just now. Under such a trap, they actually held out for an hour. They are not human. They are gods. The agile figure that passed through the flowers without getting a single leaf on him hit their confidence again and again. Now he is finally caught. Liang Hui glanced at him contemptuously, took off his coat directly, and dodged again with a golden shell. Woo woo woo, run away, run away. The big boy couldn't stand it anymore and broke his defense instantly. Almost all the freshmen collapsed at this moment. You can't catch Liang Hui at all, give up. Why are you so tired under the sun? The army's morale gradually became unstable. Song Qingshu's face was no longer relaxed, but he shouted solemnly. If you give up now, you will get nothing. Your previous efforts will become a joke. Think about the shameless Liang Hui. The key is that he is tired. He is not a legend, otherwise I would not have grabbed his clothes just now. He has no more clothes to take off. We are just hot. What about Liang Hui? He is hot and tired. Never think that the enemy is too strong. He is on the verge of collapse. Catch him. Yes. He is more tired than us. We will definitely catch him. The fact is just as they said. Liang Hui really felt that he was about to die. Maybe he would be caught in the third interception. He looked at his best friend helplessly and shook his head with a wry smile. His best friend really deserves to be a pyramid scheme leader since he was a child. This time, he will lose to him. Liang Hui wants to surrender. Har har har, Liang Hui, you are not going to die, right? You are not durable enough. Are you a real man? Song Qingshu said again, men can't be too fast. It's really fucking mean. If you don't say anything, I'm really going to lose to you once. But you're so mean. I'll never lose to you. Liang Hui gritted his teeth and burst out with strength again, avoiding the encirclement that was close at hand. His mind was working fast. What should I do now? I can't just dodge back and forth on the playground like before. After all, people are exhausted. Otherwise, break out of their net and rush out of the playground. But the entrance to the playground is the most densely populated place. That's right. I have the biggest plug-in, the system. Liang Hui wanted to punch himself on the head a few times. Why did he only remember the system now? I hope that this lottery can draw an ability that can improve the current situation. While dodging, summon the system. Host, Liang Hui. Appearance, 97. Charm, 83. Popularity, 305,566. Fuck. That's all. It would have been fine if I hadn't seen it, but I was shocked. With a popularity of over 300,000, Liang Hui instantly felt that being hunted down was worth it. But it really should be over now, or he would be in trouble. Pull one by one first. If you pull 10 times in a row, I can't react now. Liang Hui dodged an interception in an instant, and made up his mind. The system will draw a diamond. Ding! Draw a diamond and get 3 instant physical recovery cards. Suck. When Liang Hui heard the prize he had drawn, he wanted to laugh out loud. The system is awesome. It really has a keen eye, and it sends a pillow when you are sleepy. Use a physical strength instant recovery card. After a long drought, the exhausted body burst out with surging power again. However, Liang Hui did not speed up immediately, but showed an imperceptible smirk. Song Qingshu, we grew up together. Although we have always been pitting each other, it has never escalated to this extent. Otherwise, we will be tied this time, right? Liang Hui was still weak and swaying as if he would fall down in the next second. Har har har, begging for mercy. This time you must say the word surrender, don't tell me about friendship. You tricked me before and my mother tied me to a tree in the park and beat me. You didn't show any mercy at that time. Song Qingshu thought of the unpleasant memories. Teammate. Try harder, Liang Hui is completely weak. Everyone can see without him saying that Liang Hui is now on the verge of collapse. The mood of the hunt is as high as at the beginning. However, system, come and draw diamonds 10 times. Even though he had recovered his physical strength, Liang Hui was tired of the tense entanglement and dodging. Ding! Draw diamonds 10 times to get 6 physical strength instant recovery cards, full level body skills, and 500,000 renminbi. Full level body skills. Suddenly, the world in front of him seemed to slow down several times. The original oppressive blockade and interception were now so slow that they could not block at all. Liang Hui could easily dodge, but don't forget that there are instructors watching on the podium, and that would be too boring. Hee. Oh. I was almost there just now, I had already touched Liang Hui's arm. Liang Hui fell down, hurry up. What a pity. Just a little bit, don't give up, success is just around the corner. When Liang Hui saw that their emotions were not high enough, he always fell down at the right time to ignite them again. At this time, he was covered in dust, panting, and his face was hideous. In the eyes of outsiders, he was already at the end of his strength. No one saw the teasing and happiness in his eyes. Who is the prey and who is the hunter? The corners of the mouths of several instructors on the podium twitched. What's going on? He has been looking so tired for half an hour, right? Is he really exhausted? The black-faced instructor who was in the lead, who was full of bad intentions, stared at the swaying figure in the field and did not speak for a while. This is not okay. I haven't played enough, how can you be exhausted and unmotivated first? Liang Hui found that the other party's mood of encirclement seemed to be a little sluggish again. He looked around and found a weak female student nearby, and there were girls around her, and the pores were relatively large. A cruel smile appeared on his face. When he arrived in front of the weak female student, Liang Hui deliberately sold a floor. Let her catch him. I caught him. I caught him. The weak girl was almost crying with excitement. Liang Hui cooperated with the performance, his eyes were full of red, he gasped and made an expression of trying desperately to break free. People around, go and help, this time Liang Hui can't even break free from the girl, har har har. Everyone rushed over. I will never lose. Liang Hui shouted with all his strength, and narrowly dodged again. Then the performance continued on the playground, an exhausted teenager gritted his teeth and barely dodged every time. And the black-faced instructor on the podium suddenly became cold and stared at the figure of the teenager in the field, and the powerful aura of a soldier burst out from his body. I know. This Liang Hui. Chapter 7 Liu Shuqi. Are you in love? The black-faced instructor woke up from his trance, and at the same time, a strong aura burst out from his body. This Liang Hui is not simple. He is not a human. He is a genius. That's it. The instructors around him looked at the excited black face speechlessly. When they heard that Liang Hui was not a human, they thought something big would happen. The result. That's it. It's understandable to be excited about the genius, but what the hell was the matter with you releasing the oppressive aura and pretending to be serious before? Look at Liang Hui's swaying figure in that scene. He clearly looks exhausted, but why can he hide until now? Yes, Liang Hui has already shown signs of fatigue. I didn't understand it at first, but when I heard Liang Hui scream just now, I understood it. He will never give up. Such a tough character may be difficult to survive in society, but he is definitely a top-notch existence in the army. Born with supernatural power, he can hone his skills in dodging again and again, and he will never give up until his death. This is the potential of a soldier king. At this moment, Liang Hui's figure was deeply imprinted in the heart of the black-faced instructor. The other instructors knew better and didn't speak again. They all knew that the black-faced instructor next to them had a hidden past. A cool breeze blew across the playground. Liang Hui realized that an afternoon was about to pass. He had almost finished playing, and his eyes suddenly became serious. Let's end it. R. With a loud shout, Liang Hui shot out, and he was going to rush out of the playground. Stop him. Don't let him get out. Song Qingshu opened his arms and stared at Liang Hui. Quickly turn to the left. Bend. Slide. Jump. The heavy blockades were useless in Liang Hui's eyes. He rushed out of the playground. Fuck. He really rushed out. A student actually made me so passionate. Reminds me of when I just joined the army. Several instructors looked at Liang Hui with admiration, deliberately lying at the entrance of the playground and pretending to be tired. That's right, the last passionate sprint, lying gloriously at the entrance of the playground, all of this was pretended by Liang Hui. In order not to be discovered to have unreasonable abilities, Liang Hui also took great pains. Popularity plus 30,000. Popularity plus 60,000. It's impossible to catch him. The freshmen in the playground stared at the figure lying at the entrance of the playground, with disbelief and awe in their eyes. Some birds are destined to be unrestrained. We all lose. Why did we surround Liang Hui in the first place? Someone suddenly asked. They were so immersed in the matter of hunting Liang Hui that they forgot their original motivation. Oh, it was because we were jealous at first. He was confessed by the cold school beauty. Well, it's all in the past. Besides, Liang Hui didn't agree. I really want to lie on the bed right away. Yeah. Liang Hui is really awesome. After this hunting game, the freshmen seemed to be more cohesive. Okay, today's military training is over. Go back and go to bed early. Whoever dares to be late tomorrow will have to run all day. Although the instructors were still very serious, they were still very kind to let everyone rest. The students in the playground scattered all over. When they passed by Liang Hui lying on the ground, they always swallowed their saliva subconsciously. Then increase his popularity. Popularity plus 500. Popularity plus 666. This afternoon, Liang Hui has won respect by himself. They made up their minds that they would not easily fluctuate because of Liang Hui in the future, because Liang Hui is too awesome, no matter what happens, they will not fluctuate again. However, tomorrow they will understand a truth never set a flag easily. Liang Hui had a hard time holding back his laughter. Almost everyone who passed by him would have a system prompt sound. Although it was not particularly large, it was a lot. If I had known I would have crawled, I could have grinned to my heart's content, har har har. I never thought you would win again this time. Song Qingshu stood beside Liang Hui. Squatted down and lifted Liang Hui up. We have plenty of time to compete in the future, why do we have to fight so hard for one time? You go first, don't worry about me, let me lie down for a while. Liang Hui saw Song Qingshu was about to take him away, and hurriedly spoke. If I don't take you away, will I let you lie on the ground and embarrass yourself? No shame. These are all popularity points. Of course Liang Hui didn't say it, but smiled at Song Qingshu. Don't look at me with that disgusting smile of yours, I'm not gay. After returning to the dormitory, Liang Hui went to take a shower after lying on the bed for a while to hide his presence. Brother Hui is so awesome today. Brother Hui, you've recovered now? You're so awesome, come and have some water, Brother Hui. When Liang Hui returned to the dormitory after taking a shower, several people in the same dormitory quickly came to greet him in a flattering manner. Looking at the extremely attentive roommates in front of him, Liang Hui found it very interesting and nodded to accept their service. I didn't expect that in just one afternoon, he actually gained several younger brothers. When Liang Hui sat on the bed, he found an unread message. By Yue Guang, did anything interesting happen today? My spy told me something. If you confess, you will be treated leniently, but if you resist, you will be treated severely. It was sent by his online girlfriend, and Liang Hui felt a little sweet in his heart. But after reading the message, he was a little suspicious. Is there really a spy from her bestie in this school, or is she deceiving me? What interesting things can there be in military training? Tell me what interesting things you have. Humph. Still want to change the subject, here's a hint, school beauty. She really knows. There really is someone with her in this school. Liang Hui was so shocked that he could not say anything more. This is really a coincidence. Since the last time he saw the shared location, Liang Hui never thought about the possibility that his online girlfriend and he were in the same school. Hey, this is too unfair. You can know my things, but I can't know yours. Today, the school confessed to me. Well, you've only been there for a few days and you're already hooking up with the senior school girl? Do you still have me in your heart? You have a spy, so you should know that I rejected her, right? After a while, Bai Yueguang sent a message again. Can they keep paying attention to you? You freshmen are doing military training in the playground, and students from other grades don't go to the playground at all, okay? That's right, har har har. Liang Hui realized that college is no longer like high school, where gossip is flying all over the school. Everyone has their own concerns. How do you feel? Are you scared when you hear that the school beauty confessed to me? After all, I'm too outstanding and I may be approached anytime and anywhere. HMPH. How dare you be unfaithful? Bai Yueguang sent a fist-raising expression. At the same time, in dormitory 506 of Building 3, the three girls with facial masks all looked at the northeast corner with incredible eyes. There, Liu Shuqi was holding her mobile phone with a slightly shy smile on her lips. The four of them have been roommates for 2 years. They are so familiar with each other. But what shocked the three girls was that they had never seen Liu Shuqi like this. It was like a little girl in love. How could this be possible? The three of them exchanged glances with each other and instantly pounced on the school beauty Liu Shuqi. Chapter 8 Liang Hui, we are so destined. The moment the three girls pounced on her, Liu Shuqi screamed and quickly turned off her phone. You turned off your phone so quickly, do you have any secrets? No. Ouch tilde itchy, har har har. Don't let me tickle you, hey yo. Four young and beautiful girls squeezed on a bed and tickled each other, and suddenly the dormitory was filled with beautiful spring scenery. The clear and melodious laughter like a yellow warbler gradually ended. Liu Shuqi looked helplessly at the three roommates opposite who were extremely serious. No, what's wrong with you? Stop. I'm interrogating you now, and you're still smiling. What's your name? Gender. Liu Shuqi has always been as cold as an iceberg outside, but in front of her familiar roommates, she really shows the liveliness of a girl. At this time, she could only cooperate and answer, Liu Shuqi, female. Very good, just keep cooperating. What happened to you today? Nothing happened. What do you want to do? Liu Yufei, Chu Ji and Du Qing couldn't help jumping off the bed and sitting next to Liu Shuqi again. Shuqi, you are not normal today. You have been wandering around the dormitory since morning, as if you have made up your mind. When you came back in the afternoon, you became even more abnormal. You often stare blankly and laugh foolishly, and then get angry. That's right. You don't look like the campus beauty Liu Da that we know now. Tell me, what happened today? Liu Shuqi smiled, I just went to see a fool. Fool? Yeah, fool. The three roommates looked at each other, their eyes full of confusion. Going to see a fool, is it necessary to be weird all day? Liu Shuqi suddenly realized something, her cheeks slightly red. Why are you all looking at me like this? Because you are not normal, Liu Yufei said, we have never seen you like this. Chu Ji and Du Qing nodded, yes, are you in love? No, what are you talking about? Liu Shuqi immediately denied it, I just met a very interesting person. The three looked at each other, a man, right? A woman. Liu Shuqi answered quickly. Really? Why don't I think so? Hey, sisters, when have you ever seen me talk to a man? Liu Yufei nodded thoughtfully, that's true, I really don't believe that someone can seduce you. Liu Shuqi coughed a little guilty, so, don't think too much, I will definitely tell you if I fall in love. The three roommates looked at each other. What if? That means Liu Shuqi really has the idea of falling in love. Liu Shuqi knew that she had let the cat out of the bag, so she stood up quickly, forget it, let's not talk about this anymore, who wants ice cream? Me. When the three girls heard about food, their eyes lit up immediately. Okay, let's go to the supermarket. While the three roommates were packing up, Liu Shuqi took out her phone and sent a message. Sorry, I had something to do just now. I have to go downstairs to buy something to eat now. Can I accompany you when I come back? Bai Yueguang sent a coquettish expression. Well, go ahead, we'll talk when I come back. Liang Hui agreed and turned off his phone, instantly emptying himself. Just now, another reminder sound popped up in his mind. Ding! The income of last night's talent show is calculated online. and the popularity value is plus 6,666. It does generate popularity value when it is posted online, but it will take a day to receive it. After all, it was just a military training talent show. If it hadn't embarrassed the dancing senior sister later, it might not even have this popularity value. Anyway, it's all free. Liang Hui won't complain about it being too little. I can't believe I have 200,000 popularity points now. When it comes to popularity points, Liang Hui can't help but think of Song Qingshu. He always cheats me and drags me back early. Who knows how much popularity points I will lose? Ding! The host has drawn 10 diamond draws, and the crystal prize pool is now open. Crystal prize pool, 100,000 popularity points required for each draw. 100,000 popularity points. Why don't you grab it? Originally, Liang Hui thought that he was already a rich man with 200,000 popularity points, but a crystal prize pool suddenly appeared. It's like he finally got a V8 boss, but before he could show off, another V9 V10 appeared. It's really endless. However, although Liang Hui said that he would never draw a crystal prize pool, but he still couldn't help but want to try. After all, the diamond prize pool is already so impressive, and the next level is the crystal. What kind of amazing things can be drawn? How great it would be if I could draw a Lamborghini Julius Pregunter. Which man can resist the charm of a supercar? What's more important is that there is only one cool Lamborghini Julius Pregunter in the world. This is not Liang Hui's wishful thinking, his confidence comes from what he has already drawn. One person's band equipment, God-level singing voice, God-level hip-hop, stocks waiting to increase 5-fold, God-level swana and skills, human limit physical strength, 8 instant physical strength recovery cards, full-level body skills, 500,000 renminbi. Before, Liang Hui dared not even think about these things. Since the system has chosen me, I should take the lead. How can I be so timid even in one lottery? The system will give me 2 crystal lotteries. Liang Hui waved his hand with great dignity and bet all his popularity points at once. Ding! 2 crystal lotteries will win a milk tea shop in the school. The host will get it in a reasonable way in the near future, and a 10-fold rebate card double profit limit of 100,000. Fuck. The first one is okay, but what about the second one? It's just that I won 100,000, which is a loss. I should have drawn the crystal prize pool first. Liang Hui, you are too proud and ignored the metaphysics of the lottery. Liang Hui was heartbroken and felt that he had thrown away 100,000 popularity points in vain. 10-fold rebate card, the upper limit is 100,000 yuan, what should I buy? Liang Hui couldn't think of what he was missing for a while. Forget it, let's go to the supermarket first, buy some food first, and buy shoes if that doesn't work. Liang Hui made up his mind, put on his clothes and went outside. The most prosperous place in Huaxia Art College is the playground at night. It is the supermarket square in the college. At night, countless men and women will gather here. They drink milk tea, chat and talk about love at the coffee table in the square. In order to match this youthful atmosphere, the school has specially installed high-power lighting in the square. So except when it rains, there is never a shortage of people here. In the restless night, there are laughter everywhere in the lights. There are also people playing poker, playing werewolf. I have to say, college students, life is really good. Liang Hui just walked into the supermarket and happened to meet Liu Shuqi and others who came out. Liang Hui, we meet again, it's really fate. Chapter 9. Liu Shuqi, are you a pervert? Liang Hui didn't expect to run into the school beauty of Liu University here. After all, she is a senior, so he can't just ignore her and walk past her. Hello, senior. Are you leaving? Bye. Of course, that's all. Just a polite greeting. However, Liu Shuqi's 3 roommates were stunned for a full minute. They had been following the school beauty. Just now in the supermarket, Liu Shuqi still looked like she didn't want to be approached by strangers, but the moment she saw this man, her eyebrows and eyes were full of joy. What kind of feeling is that? It's as if the world in the eyes of the school beauty has always been grey. But when she saw the man, countless colors began to splash out. No one would not be shocked to see Liu Shuqi like this. What's more, the roommates who know the school beauty best, they just want to know who this man is at this time. This man's ancestral grave must be on fire, not even smoking, on fire. But seeing Liang Hui being so perfunctory, they felt dizzy for a moment, as if they were struck by thunder. This world is simply crazy. Popularity plus 500. Popularity plus 600. Popularity plus 700. Liang Hui heard the prompt sound in his mind, and saw the three roommates behind Liu Shuqi who were numb and sluggish. He immediately understood what was going on and just found it funny. No, I was just about to go around. It's still early now. How could I go back? Liu Shuqi hurriedly stuffed the snacks in her hand into the hands of the roommate behind her. Junior brother, you just came to school and you shouldn't have been around the supermarket properly. Senior sister has the obligation to help you integrate into the school faster. Popularity plus 2000. Popularity plus 3000. Popularity plus 5000. At the same time, several of them stayed at the entrance of the supermarket, and there was also the school beauty of Liu University here. Gradually, many people were watching quietly. What? The school belle of Liu University took the initiative to help the junior integrate into campus life. When I entered the school, not to mention the school belle's help, even the senior sister who greeted the new students at the door didn't even look at me. It was so fucking infuriating. The school belle of Liu University called him a junior. First of all, we can rule out relatives and previous acquaintances. Then there is only one possibility: the school belle is taking the initiative. How dare you ruin my heart? The school belle of Liu University is the nine heavens mysterious lady who came down to the mortal world. How can ordinary people get involved? If you are not a hero, you are not worthy of my goddess. Popularity plus 6000. Popularity plus 3000. Liang Hui listened to the system's prompt sound. Perhaps as long as he met the school belle, he would not have to worry about his popularity. However, Liang Hui did not intend to take the initiative to cooperate with the school belle for a mere popularity. From the first time he saw Liu Shuqi, he always felt that this school belle of Liu University seemed to know him, and there was always a hint of teasing and testing hidden deep in her eyes. However, Liang Hui didn't know her at all. This made him have to be on guard. What was hidden in the eyes of the school beauty Liu? Why did she approach him? From the moment he was selected by the system, Liang Hui became cautious. After all, even the system appeared, who knows what hidden things there will be. The more powerful it is, the more cautious it should be. Thank you for your kindness, but I would rather go around alone. Liang Hui nodded to Liu Shuqi to express his gratitude, and then walked away without stopping. Everyone was dumbfounded. Popularity plus 9000. Popularity plus 5000. Popularity plus 10,000. Who is this guy? Is he so fierce? HMPH. He's just a young man who plays hard to get. Why did the school beauty of Liu University spoil him at the beginning? Wow, this guy is so handsome and has such a strong personality. Look at the expression of the school beauty of Liu University. After being ignored and rejected, she was secretly happy with satisfaction, as if to say that you are smart. What is this? Liu Yufei, Chu Ji and Du Qing were very uncomfortable being stared at by a group of people. They shrank their necks and quickly pulled away Liu Shuqi, who was still in a trance. On their way back to the dormitory, Liu Yufei and her three roommates looked at each other, trying to speak several times but holding it back, while Liu Shuqi was caught in her own secret joy. After a lot of effort, the four of them returned to the dormitory. As soon as they stepped into the dormitory, Liu Yufei locked the dormitory door instantly. Chu Ji and Du Qing held Liu Shuqi's arms respectively and pressed her firmly on the bed. Liu Yufei, what's wrong with you? I just treated you to ice cream. No matter how Liu Shuqi resisted, she couldn't break free. Liu Yufei stared at Liu Shuqi, just staring at her. Liu Shuqi swallowed her saliva. Yufei, the interesting person I'm talking about today is the junior just now, but I'm really not moved. I just feel it's very interesting. You know I'm usually too boring. Liu Yufei seemed to have made a great decision. Liu Shuqi, you're not a pervert, are you? R-tilde. Liu Shuqi was suddenly confused. What was going on? We finally understand why you disdain the previous confession, because you are a bottom. From childhood to adulthood, others have been licking you and holding you, and gradually you feel tired of it, and are eager to change to a different feeling. We don't know how you know that, Junior, but he gave you an unprecedented experience. You have always been a cold girl, but suddenly one day you were ignored. This sense of gap inspires you to get close, but the closer you get, the more you are despised, but you are not angry. You even feel that being ignored in front of everyone is more exciting. So, Liu Shuqi, you are actually a pervert. After Liu Yufei finished speaking in one breath, she looked at the extremely beautiful Liudar campus beauty in front of her in surprise. Who would have thought that under the beautiful appearance, there is a brave heart? What is this? Don't guess, I'll be honest with you. After being stunned for a quarter of an hour, Liu Shuqi's cheeks flushed and she spat lightly. During this summer, I found a boy with the label, too handsome to be loved, in the freshman group. I thought it was interesting, so I added him as a friend. After chatting for a while, I found that he was a humorous, thoughtful and considerate boy. Well, it should be considered an online romance. It's just that we don't know each other's names and appearances, just keep the mystery and freshness, and reveal it when we meet in person a year later. Then I found out that he was in our school, Liang Hui, the freshman who embarrassed Zhao Jie yesterday. Later, I just teased him to see if he took online romance seriously. After Liu Shuqi finished explaining in one breath, a faint blush appeared on her handsome face. This is the first time she admitted that she is in love. After listening carefully, the three female roommates smiled like ants. Hey, you are really a jealous girl in love, and you are testing your boyfriend. Liu Shuqi's face turned redder, and her voice was as soft as a mosquito. No, it's just that I'm too bored at school, so I'm looking for something interesting. It's okay, we all understand, and we can even give you some advice, so now let's take a look at the chat records between you and your junior brother, so that we can give you some practical advice. No. Be obedient, let's take a look. Chapter 10. Don't you have to struggle at a young age? After saying goodbye to the school beauty of Liu University, Liang Hui wandered around the supermarket casually, and bought one to try if he saw any good one. Anyway, he has a 10-fold rebate card. It's equivalent to not only not spending money but also making money when buying things now. Ding! Please rush to the afternoon tea place on the second floor of the supermarket. No matter what happens, please don't refuse, and you will get the milk tea shop that has been drawn. The system prompt sound suddenly appeared. Don't refuse no matter what happens. How will I get the milk tea shop? After hearing the system prompt, Liang Hui couldn't help guessing. When the crystal was drawn in the lottery last night, the system prompted that it would be obtained in a reasonable way. Everything became unreasonable when the system selected it. Now it is said that it will be obtained in a reasonable way. This has whetted Liang Hui's appetite. On the way, Liang Hui opened his information panel. Host, Liang Hui. Appearance, 97. Charm, 83. Popularity, 49,800. This time Liang Hui was not in a hurry to draw the lottery, because according to the metaphysics of the lottery, he needed to wait for a while to accumulate luck before drawing the lottery. Unconsciously, Liang Hui walked to the afternoon tea shop prompted by the system. The business was quite prosperous, so Liang Hui went there to line up. What will happen in a while to make me accept the store reasonably? Liang Hui was puzzled. What are you drinking, handsome guy? The front desk lady's face was hot when Liang Hui stared at her. She didn't know that Liang Hui was in a daze, and thought she had met her Prince Charming. Oh, sorry, I don't usually drink milk tea, just give me what you usually like to drink. After coming to his senses, Liang Hui smiled apologetically to the front desk and said in a gentle voice. Their voice is also very nice. He just stared at me, and now asked me what I like to drink. Is he going to give it to me? Oh, so embarrassing. Hey, what are you doing in front? The people behind are waiting in line. Liang Hui kept blocking the front and the people waiting behind couldn't help but complain. The front desk lady suddenly woke up from her fantasy and was too shy to look at Liang Hui. Then have a cup of strawberry flavor. Okay. Liang Hui didn't say much, just scanned the code to pay and stood aside to wait. What a waste of time, what's the point of not having milk tea before? It's just a forced flirtation. Liang Hui heard the sour jealousy of the boy next to him. He smiled but didn't say anything, because he was used to it. He was used to the troubles brought by his good-looking appearance, such as buying a cup of milk tea and being stared at by girls. Handsome guy, your milk tea is ready. The receptionist deliberately lifted the hair on the tip of her ear and looked at Liang Hui with affection. Hurry up and say it to me, and then say a few love words casually, and I will be yours. Liang Hui frowned slightly. What is the receptionist expecting? Reach out to take it. You are still trying hard. Liang Hui was confused. What's wrong with this woman? I paid for it. Give it to you. Liang Hui took the milk tea from the girl's hand, and also took away the girl's hope. Her eyes were filled with tears, and she instantly understood what fairy tales are all lies, and there would never be a Prince Charming. Liang Hui took out the straw and put it into the milk tea in front of the girl and took a sip. How ruthless! He completely destroyed her youthful fantasy in front of her. Liang Hui certainly would not pay attention to this episode, but was still thinking about his milk tea shop. Now I have bought a cup of milk tea, and everything is too normal at the moment. There is no possibility of accepting the shop at all. Suddenly, there was a regular sound of high heels. The sound of their high heels seemed to have magic. The person who heard the sound could not help but think of a beautiful woman wearing a cheongsam with a graceful figure and shaking 3 steps in his mind. Yujie. All the men present were shaken by the sound, and their eyes were fixed on the source of the sound. Sure enough. A Yujie in a red cheongsam was twisting her waist and walking towards this side. Their high collar shows the slender neck, which seems to be exposed but not exposed. In the gap between the 2 high hems, their white legs are looming. Their woman's charm swayed endlessly in an instant, firmly attracting the attention of everyone in the supermarket. She seemed to enjoy this kind of attention, and smiled shyly and charmingly in one direction out of interest. Liang Hui was also staring at her, but there was something more in his eyes than other men. More vigilance. He had a hunch that this woman might be the key link for the system to send the store. Because Liang Hui, who is the ceiling of human beings, also felt the breath of danger from this beauty. A charming cheongsam girl is likely to have a strong physical strength. Is it scary? Such an unreasonable setting must be related to the most unreasonable system. Liang Hui thought so. Facts have proved that it is indeed the case. The moment the hot cheongsam girl Gan Rui saw Liang Hui, her charming eyes suddenly became sharp. That look was extremely aggressive, but Liang Hui was not afraid at all. The aggressive look suddenly disappeared, replaced by a blatant look of seduction. Liang Hui is still a pure boy. At this time, he swallowed hard, but dared not look at each other again. Har har har, what an interesting little guy. Gan Rui's voice also gave people a feeling of being far and near, making people want to get closer to listen carefully. She speeded up a little and walked straight to Liang Hui. Liang Hui did not walk away. Instead, he chose to listen to the system and let it go. He didn't have any special ideas, just wanted to see how to reasonably get a milk tea shop. Gan Rui sat in front of Liang Hui naturally, tilting her head seductively to reveal a touch of white jade neck. Blushing, Liang Hui had never challenged such a soft spot. Your name is Liang Hui, right? I know you, you have a great body. I want to support you, do you agree? Gan Rui is indeed a mature woman, without any immaturity. She gently licked her sexy red lips, leaned forward and looked up at Liang Hui. Liang Hui's face flushed and he took several steps back. Being supported, and then inheriting the milk tea shop reasonably. Very reasonable. But the prizes of this crystal lottery seem to be far more than just a shop. It's unexpected to be rejected. Isn't my charm enough? Gan Rui gently tapped her lips with her index finger to think. Liang Hui's mouth twitched, and he stood there laughing awkwardly in a dilemma. Har har har, what an interesting little guy, no kidding, sister, I see that you are handsome, how about giving you a shop? How about afternoon tea at this shop? Chapter 11. No one dared to spread this. Popularity plus 50,000. Popularity plus 30,000. This is too cruel, are you going to send it to the store directly? Sister, I can do it. I am in better shape, the only shortcoming is my bad stomach. The freshman boys around were howling like ghosts, while the sophomores and juniors were too scared to look, let alone talk about it. However, Gan Rui ignored them, winked at Liang Hui with seductive eyes, and pinched his arm quietly. No matter what happens, don't refuse. Liang Hui kept looping the system's prompts in his mind. But is he such a person? No. Liang Hui doesn't want to be kept, play happy balls or something like that, it's too inhumane. I'm afraid not. I have a big appetite and I can't be full just by eating soft rice. Gan Rui covered her mouth and chuckled, I won't support you, little guy. I'll just give you a store. That's even worse. If you don't want my body, what do you want? I don't want this to be an obstacle to my future actions. I won't accept rewards without merit. Gan Rui stared at Liang Hui for a long time and sneered again. You are quite cautious at such a young age. Okay, I will make you feel completely at ease. I want you to go to the martial arts department within this month and challenge the school alone. Do you dare? Gan Rui no longer had a trace of charm, but her eyes were sharp and sharp. Liang Hui knew that he couldn't avoid this matter. Even if he refused this time, this woman would definitely find another opportunity in the future. When Gan Rui saw his sharpness for a moment, Liang Hui felt that she was testing him. Just now, she pinched Liang Hui's arm in a seemingly intimate and tempting way. Only he knew how strong this woman's hand was. Liang Hui's eyes became firm. Dare. Okay, I didn't misjudge you. This shop will be yours from now on. Did you hear that, Xiani? He will be your boss from now on. Gan Rui said to the girl at the front desk who was having afternoon tea. Oh. The girl at the front desk nodded as if she had lost her soul. It's terrible. I actually wanted to hook up with my boss just now. Oh, there's no need to rush. It's not impossible for me to become the boss's wife. Liang Hui didn't have time to guess his employee's little thoughts. Instead, after handing over to Gan Rui, he bought a few clothes and shoes in the supermarket. After making a profit of 100,000 yuan through the double rebate card, he shamelessly returned all the things. Those things still took up space after they were bought, so Liang Hui was equivalent to winning 100,000 yuan. Just opened the dormitory door. Liang Hui found a person lying on his bed. Song Qingshu. You're back. You just did something big, har har. What did I do? Liang Hui looked at his best friend with a puzzled expression. Even if he knew that I was being kept, he shouldn't have a worried expression. Worried that my body couldn't handle it. I heard that you want to challenge the martial arts academy alone. Liang Hui looked at his best friend who was reliable at critical moments and nodded seriously. That's right, but you don't have to worry about me. Let's go for a walk outside. Okay. Song Qingshu and Liang Hui walked side by side on the playground at night, and were noticed by many couples. You know, you really don't dare to go to the playground at night without a girlfriend. However, with Song Qingshu by his side, Liang Hui was not afraid of embarrassment at all, because he was used to it. What are you looking at? Haven't you seen a firm and pure love without a trace of desire? Song Qingshu's words made the young couples next to him flee in panic. Hey! Why doesn't anyone support me? Liang Hui didn't know whether to laugh or cry. You called me out just to complain. No, Liang Hui, do you know that the news that you want to challenge the martial arts academy is all over the place? This surprised Liang Hui. He didn't expect the news to spread so quickly. Don't be surprised, the martial arts academy has already shouted in the school forum, and now everyone is speculating on what grudges you have with the martial arts academy. Liang Hui opened his mouth, not knowing how to explain. No need to explain anything, I just told you what I know so that you can prepare carefully in advance. The Wu Academy is a special place in Huaxia Art Academy. It can be said that it is full of crazy people. The personal worship there has reached the extreme, and the woman who supports you is actually the big sister of the Wu Academy. The group of rough men in their Wu Academy, knowing that you dare to seduce their big sister, want to tear you apart alive. By the way, you are really beautiful. Liang Hui looked at Song Qingshu gratefully. This is why the two of them have been pitting each other, but their relationship is ridiculously good. Not only will they pit each other, but they will also help each other. I have only been in school for a few days, and I am almost completely famous. However, after the news that I am being supported has been spread out this time, no one should come to confess to me again. Song Qingshu's face suddenly darkened. It's too shameful. This kid has been confessed since he was a child, and the key is that he looks like I am also annoyed. You think too much. Except for Gan Rui, who told the students of the Martial Arts Academy to inspire the fighting spirit of the Martial Arts Academy, no one else knew about it. Why? Many people in the supermarket saw me being kept. Liang Hui was full of doubts. A lot of people saw it, but no one dared to spread the word. This aroused Liang Hui's curiosity. Why? Because Gan Rui is a legendary taboo. She looks just as good as Liu Xiaohua, but no one dared to vote for her in the annual school beauty election. Why? If anyone dares to talk about her in the academy, and is heard by a group of crazy people in the martial arts academy, the person who talks about her will have to stay in the hospital for at least a week. At that time, a group of ignorant freshmen in the supermarket have been questioned. After listening to Song Qingshu's explanation, Liang Hui's face was covered with a layer of gloom. He seemed to have provoked a group of crazy people. The physical strength of the human ceiling may not be very useful. After all, he has no martial arts skills. It seems that it is time to draw the lottery tonight. Are you scared? Why didn't you consider the consequences when you seduced Ganrui? The martial arts academy only gives you 1 week. If you don't go to challenge them, they will come to find you. Liang Hui didn't doubt what his best friend said. From childhood to adulthood, as long as you ask him about the news in the school, there is nothing he doesn't know. Liang Hui has even heard that he has younger brothers in every school he has been to. Don't worry too much. Today I found out that you are also very hidden. No one in the playground can catch you. Song Qingshu put his arm around Liang Hui's shoulders. Go back. I will accompany you to challenge them in a week. We freshmen can't lose face. Liang Hui took a deep look at his best friend. It seemed that he wanted to make things bigger. After returning to the dormitory, Liang Hui could feel that the younger brother he just met in the same dormitory looked at him with shock. After all, this is a person who has only been in school for a few days and dares to challenge the martial arts academy. Liang Hui saw the news about his online lover on his phone. She must have heard the news from her spy, but he didn't reply immediately. Instead, he summoned the system. System, here are 5 diamond draws. Chapter 12, if you raise her, you may die, so chase her boldly. Ding! 5 diamond draws, get Grandmaster Tai Chi, 1 hour pain loss card, charm points +5, 3 hour 18 martial arts mastery card, 1 day popularity doubling card. Good. When the draw results were announced, Liang Hui jumped up from the bed excitedly. The other roommates in the dormitory glanced at him resentfully and didn't dare to say a word. The fear comes from insufficient firepower. Although more experience cards were drawn, it was enough. If Song Qingshu can really make things big, then use the popularity doubling card on that day, and play 1 gym by 1, he should get a lot of popularity, right? He was floating. Liang Hui was floating. Liang Hui originally felt that things were very troublesome, but after winning the prize, he even wanted to go to the challenge immediately. At this time, Liang Hui had an unprecedented experience. He fell into a wonderful feeling. It felt that the explosive power stored by the extreme physical strength originally obtained was dissipated without a trace. No. It is not quite appropriate to say that it dissipated without a trace. It is more accurate to say that it was as if it turned into a stream of water. You can easily and casually dispatch this stream of water to any meridian or any inch of muscle. The power that exploded at that time was even more terrifying. This is the great benefit brought by the master level Tai Chi. Too hard is easy to break, and Tai Chi is the best combination of hardness and softness. Liang Hui was happy to see the prey, and he couldn't help but dance a section. But before that, Liang Hui put down his mobile phone to record. Start slowly. To outsiders, Liang Hui's Tai Chi was soft and weak, but every time it changed, it was like an internal force flowing in his arms. The accumulation of momentum has been completed. Liang Hui's eyes suddenly became sharp. Suddenly, he took a small step back with his right foot, squatted slightly, and threw out his fists at the same time. After punching, the sleeves of his pajamas fluttered and rustled. In just a few seconds, no one knew how many punches he threw. It was time to call it a day. Liang Hui stood still and breathed slowly, emptying his body and mind. After dancing a piece of Tai Chi, he not only did not feel tired but felt more comfortable and relaxed. The roommates who were already lying down in the dormitory were stunned. Is this really the Tai Chi that the old man and the old woman in the park practice? I will get up early to go to the park tomorrow. I want to learn from the old people and inherit the good virtues of China. I think you want to inherit the old man's internal skills, but I like it, count me in. Liang Hui did not want to stop his roommate, shook his head and smiled bitterly. I am afraid that the old man in the park will have more grandchildren kneeling down to ask for the transmission of skills tomorrow. Liang Hui turned off the video and sent this video to Bai Yueguang. The reason why he had to draw the lottery first and then chat with his partner was that only with strong self-confidence could he infect others with the same peace of mind between the lines. If he didn't draw the lottery first, Liang Hui himself would be unsure and would inevitably worry about his partner. Room 506, Building 3. Although Liu Shuqi was holding a textbook, she would look at the phone next to her anxiously from time to time. The other 3 beautiful roommates were fidgeting. It's been so long and you haven't replied yet. Your boyfriend Liang Hui either doesn't care about you at all or has been beaten. What do you think of Shuqi? Suddenly asked, Liu Shuqi answered hurriedly. I'm fine. I was just interested in my junior brother. It's not a real relationship. You should study hard. Liu Yufei and the other two looked at each other and burst into laughter. Shuqi, stop talking about studying. You even hold your books upside down. Liu Shuqi's pretty face immediately turned red. Hey, did I hold my books upside down? I was just thinking about new music scores. Don't laugh. Ding dong. As soon as the notification sound of receiving a message rang, Liu Shuqi immediately stopped playing with her roommates and hurriedly picked up her phone to check if it was sent by Liang Hui. TSK, you say you don't care, but you're more anxious than anyone else when you hear the news. Liu University campus bell's roommate joked and came over at the same time. From the moment the campus bell confessed, Liang Hui was facing a whole dormitory of girls. Sent a video of boxing, is it to reassure the campus bell? But he's doing Tai Chi, which even my grandma doesn't do. My grandma goes to sword dance. Yes, Tai Chi is used to keep old men and women healthy, and it can't be used for fighting at all. Liu Shuqi's eyes were filled with worry. Suddenly, there was a whistling sound in the video. What's that sound? Is it the sound of the wind outside the window? No, their dormitory is tightly closed, and you can see Liang Hui's sleeves are bulging. Fuck. He's hitting so fast. Isn't this the boxing style in martial arts novels? Shuqi, your boyfriend may be a master. Without the reminder of her roommates, Liu Shuqi's eyes were already blinking with stars. Shuqi, your boyfriend is very good, so you must seize it, otherwise someone else will definitely snatch him away. Liu Yufei reacted immediately, and the other two roommates also catered to her. Yes, he is handsome and versatile. He must have a great body if he can box. We are all attracted to him. Oh, right. Ask your boyfriend for abs photos. We want to see abs. Liu Shuqi felt a sense of pride. My boyfriend is so perfect. Ding dong. Have you seen how awesome your boyfriend is? Liu Shuqi made a shushing gesture to her roommate. Huh? You replied so late. Were you chatting with the pretty girls in school? God knows, I was stopped by 3 students from the martial arts academy just now. I just returned to the dormitory and saw that you were worried about the news, so I immediately performed a fistfight to reassure you. How could I have time to find other people? You were stopped by 3 people. Are you injured? No, you can still perform a fistfight vigorously even if you are injured. Your boyfriend is very powerful. He beat those 3 2-meter-tall men and made them beg for mercy and kneel down to sing "Conquer" to me. Har, you are just a badmouth. I just saw your fistfight. It's average, but it should be enough to deal with the martial arts academy. Of course, don't worry at all. I will record a video for you when I fight a group of people alone. Looking forward to it. Okay, a lot of things happened today. I have to go to class tomorrow, so let's not talk about it for now. Good night. Good night. After putting down the phone, Liu Shuqi still smiled sweetly and recalled it. Shuqi. It's time to take action. Liu Yufei looked at the school beauty of Liu University very seriously. Your boyfriend is too good. He will definitely face a lot of temptations in the future. Instead of being doubted by others, he is better to be tempted by you. You are so shameless. Liu Shuqi's face was hot. Shuqi, I'm not kidding. To be honest, online dating is unreliable. Who can guarantee that your boyfriend will not be able to resist the temptation and let others get it in the future? You should take the initiative. If you really catch up with him in real life, it doesn't prove that he is a scumbag, unless he is dating you in real life and flirting with you online, then scold him and slap him a few times. If even the school beauty of Liu University can't catch him, it proves that your boyfriend is a very good man. Liu Shuqi's eyes were hesitant. Finally, she made up her mind. Tomorrow there will be military training, and I will send him milk tea. Chapter 13 Liang Hui, you treat the school beauty as an errand girl. I was still awakened by the shrill iron whistle. All the freshmen rushed noisily from the dormitory building to the playground and formed a military training formation. Liang Hui, step out. He originally thought it was another boring military training, but the stern-faced instructor suddenly called him out with a wicked smile. Do you think the military training is too boring? Liang Hui almost nodded. He quickly perked up his guard, as he had now completely recognized this sinister instructor. If he was distracted for even a moment, he would be tricked by him. Report to the instructor: I think military training can fully hone students' bodies and wills, and can quickly cultivate class cohesion and help us develop team spirit. The black-faced instructor stared at Liang Hui with a half-smile. Okay. If you hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known that military training has such great benefits. Since it has such great benefits, how about following your advice and extending the military training? Liang Hui was numb. Why is this instructor targeting me alone? Report to the instructor: I alone cannot represent everyone's authority. Everything I say only represents my personal will. I think it is necessary to follow everyone's opinions for specific implementation. The stern-faced instructor's gaze made Liang Hui nervous, wondering what evil plans he was up to. Do you know how I feel about military training? Have no idea. Besides, who wants to know? Instructor, I'm not very smart. Please teach me. I think military training is to discipline you and torture you, so that you know how simple and happy it is to sit in the classroom and study. I originally thought that standing at attention under the sun was enough, but yesterday afternoon I discovered that your potential is truly unlimited. So today I will give you a snack. Let us go, instructor. There was a sudden howling of ghosts in the crowd, and some students were even so scared that their legs went limp. Liang Hui, you performed the best yesterday. Instructor, I admire you very much, so I am going to give you some special training today. The black-faced instructor showed his dagger. Liang Hui sighed deeply. Why? There's no way to avoid it. Instructor, I'm almost exhausted. Can I stop and rest for a while? Yes. I'll let you lie down and rest while doing 100 sit-ups. For the entire morning, the stern-faced instructor was concentrating on training Liang Hui. Popularity plus 2,000. Popularity plus 3,000. Popularity plus 2,000. Liang Hui is too fierce. It seems like he has never had a rest. He is indeed the man that no one in the playground can catch. Compared to him, we have it easy. Suddenly, the girls' team on the side started screaming. Wow! Liang Hui took off his shirt. What perfect abdominal muscles! I can't help but take a picture. Click, click. At this moment, no girl cared about her image as a lady. If she missed this opportunity, she would miss it forever. They all took photos crazily. Popularity value plus 4,000. Popularity value plus 6,000. Popularity plus 1,000. The morning is finally over. Liang Hui instantly collapsed on the grass in the playground, breathing heavily. This amount of training is simply not something a human can endure. Even though he possessed physical strength that reached the ceiling of human capabilities, Liang Hui felt as if his entire body was falling apart. The dark-faced instructor looked at Liang Hui with satisfaction, turned around and walked out of the playground with a smile on his face. The student union cadres who were supervising the military training at the front looked at their younger classmates with glee. Seniors, didn't you train like this during your military training? No, we were still standing in military posture under the shade of the tree. Oh, why did the instructor want to mess with our class? Maybe it's because there's a monster in your class. Everyone's eyes were focused on the figure lying in a big letter shape on the playground. No one spoke for a while. Liang Hui had already conquered most people with his actions yesterday. Suddenly someone spoke first to break the silence. Look, it looks like the campus beauty of Liu University. In an instant, everyone's attention was attracted by the campus beauty of Liu University. One of the seniors couldn't help but say, it's really the school beauty Liu. Why is she here on the playground again? The number of times I've seen the school beauty in the past 2 days is almost equal to the number of times I saw her in the previous year. Do you think he's here to look for Liang Hui again? Enough. You are insulting my goddess. The campus beauty of Liu University is a recognized iceberg beauty. Has there been someone more handsome than Liang Hui who confessed to her before? Yesterday, my goddess was just too bored. Liu Shuqi only smiled in front of her roommates and Liang Hui, and she arrogantly ignored everyone else. Humph. He's so abominable. Yesterday I asked him if he had a girlfriend, but he actually said I was not as valuable as a bottle of drink. Today I brought some milk tea to see if he would accept it. She was very conflicted at this moment. Although she thought what Liu Yufei said last night made sense, she still didn't want Liang Hui to answer the call. But Liang Hui didn't answer, and she felt a little petty. Girls are such strange creatures. She's coming towards me. The beauty from Liu University is coming towards me. Suddenly a freshman shouted excitedly. Nonsense, he's clearly walking towards me. What's up with the beauty of Liu these past 2 days? She's randomly picking up freshmen to flirt with. Classmate, do you know where Liang Hui is? Liu Shuqi looked around but didn't see Liang Hui. Popularity value plus 9,000. Popularity value plus 6,000. The student who was originally secretly delighted to see the school beauty walking towards him now opened his mouth wide and didn't know what to say for a moment. Sure enough, you're here to look for Liang Hui again. The students around them felt as if they were hit by a huge critical strike. Hey, Liang Hui is there. Liu Shuqi suddenly saw Liang Hui, who had just sat up and was puzzled. Liang Hui was so startled that he sat up by the system prompt. Why has the popularity increased again? I've been lying here for so long that I'm no longer shocked. Could it be that the stern-faced instructor is doing something new again? Click, click. Liang Hui saw the infatuated Liu Shuqi holding up her cell phone and taking pictures of him. It turns out that it's the school beauty again who is helping me to increase my popularity. The campus beauty of Liu University actually likes taking photos just like those vulgar girls. I have abdominal muscles too. I have abs too. Some boys' eyes lit up on the playground. It turned out that girls liked abdominal muscles so much. They took off their shirts decisively. When they posed in various ways to show off their bodies, the girls next to them looked disgusted. Abnormal. This is so unfair. I won't live anymore. R tilde. Different from outsiders, Liang Hui and Liu Shuqi's place is like a pure land for only the two of them. Liu Shuqi, who had forgotten how many photos she had taken, suddenly saw Liang Hui smiling bitterly. She immediately put away her phone and glanced away without knowing what was wrong. It looks like you are very tired and thirsty, give me some milk tea. Looking at the beautiful school beauty with a face as red as an apple, Liang Hui accepted it generously this time. He is really thirsty. Feeling her hands were empty, Liu Shuqi stared at Liang Hui in disbelief. To be honest, she was still a little disappointed. Thank you. Here is 50 yuan. Don't make the change. The rest is your errand fee. In the future, whenever you have time and are willing, you can bring me various drinks. How about a $6 tip for each order? Liang Hui's face was full of seriousness, as if he was really just negotiating a business deal. The onlookers all fell to their knees. Liang Hui, you treat the school beauty as an errand boy? How can my goddess be humiliated by you like this? Chapter 14, Black-Faced Instructor, don't go too far. This is such a fucking bully. Popularity value plus 10,000. Liang Hui wanted to laugh out loud as he listened to the system's prompts. Cool. So cool. Staring at Liu Shuqi with fiery eyes, he is simply a walking ATM. Hit him. Hit him. Hit him. Slap him hard in the face, my goddess. Almost all the boys in the audience shouted in grief and anger. However, Liu Shuqi was not angry, but even showed a hint of satisfaction. How can you be satisfied with this? Popularity plus 5,000. Popularity plus 3,000. Popularity plus 2,000. What's going on? Why is it so lively? The moment the dark-faced instructor's deep voice was heard, the originally noisy crowd immediately became serious and well-behaved. After a whole morning of training, in the eyes of all the students, the black-faced instructor was not a human being. It's a devil. Liang Hui's eyes were sharper, and the moment he saw the stern-faced instructor, the smile disappeared from his face and he hid the milk tea behind him. So, junior brother Liang Hui is afraid of the instructor. Liu Shuqi on the side seemed to have discovered something new and started joking with a smile. He glanced at the school beauty helplessly. You know nothing. Ever since he came into contact with the stern-faced instructor at the talent show the day before yesterday, his life has been miserable. And now Liang Hui suddenly had a bad premonition in his heart. Hey, my girlfriend is here to bring me some milk tea tilde, the dark-faced instructor said in a strange tone. Why are you still hiding it? I saw it all just now. After hearing the first half of the instructor's sentence, Liu Shuqi's cheeks flushed slightly. She shyly lifted her hair and looked down at the tip of her shoes. Liang Hui was no longer in the mood to pay attention to the unusual school beauty next to him, and instead acted like a lackey. Instructor, you must be thirsty after supervising for the whole morning. Come and have some milk tea. The black-faced instructor stared at Liang Hui and suddenly revealed his most typical devilish smile. Finished. Liang Hui suddenly felt something was wrong. The dark-faced instructor took the milk tea and shook it in his hand. Isn't this the milk tea from the afternoon tea shop opened by my cousin? Liang Hui didn't react for a moment and casually replied, your cousin. The dark-faced instructor smiled even more deeply and patted his forehead exaggeratedly. Look at my memory. After my cousin took care of you last night, the shop should be yours. No. The black-faced instructor's smile suddenly disappeared and a murderous intent burst out of him. Good boy, while being taken care of by my cousin, you also have a beautiful girlfriend. The stern-faced instructor threw away his milk tea and clenched his fists until they made crackling sounds. Liang Hui, you. When Liu Shuqi, who was standing by, heard that Liang Hui was being kept by someone else, she suddenly felt as if her heart had sunk into an ice cave and she felt extremely aggrieved. Tears welled up in her beautiful eyes and she ran out of the playground without looking back. So the reason why he has always looked down on me is because I was being kept by someone? So everything he said to me online was false. Everything was a lie told by a fool like me, but I am still so complacent. I won't talk to him anymore. Popularity value plus 30,000. Popularity value plus 60,000. Popularity value plus 100,000. Liang Hui is being kept by someone but he still has his eye on the school beauty. Bar, what a piece of shit. You dare to make my goddess cry? Even if you have extraordinary physical strength, I will beat you so hard that you can't even find your way home today. However, Liang Hui at this time did not sense the chaos in the outside world. In his mind, things gradually became clear. Why would Gan Rui, whom he didn't even know last night, come to him? Why should he be allowed to challenge the martial arts academy in addition to giving him a shop? It's all because of the black-faced instructor in front of him. Liang Hui gradually formed a picture in his mind. The black-faced instructor said, cousin, let me tell you, I found an invincible student this afternoon. Gan Rui, invincible. The sullen instructor said, that's right. All the students in the playground spread out to form a dense capture net, but they couldn't catch him in the whole afternoon. Gan Rui, really? I don't believe it. The black-faced instructor said, really? Why would I lie to you? I guarantee that none of those so-called martial arts students of yours can beat him. Then Gan Rui got unconvinced and started to cause trouble for me. How reasonable it all is. After guessing the reason, Liang Hui felt very helpless. But there was no way out. Should I beat up the instructor, get expelled from school, go home and let my parents beat me? I came to my senses with great helplessness. Liang Hui suddenly realized that the atmosphere at the scene was not right. It's too quiet. Shouldn't it be the case that a group of students are extremely angry and want to tear each other apart with their own hands? Why are they all as quiet as little lambs? Suddenly I felt someone holding my shoulder. How was it? I helped you calm down that angry student. A big black face was about to hit Liang Hui's face. Liang Hui moved away with disgust, not looking happy at all. You call yourself my brother. Gan Rui is your cousin. You must have instigated her to bet with me, right? You let me go to the martial arts academy alone to challenge them. Instructor, you really think highly of me. The black-faced instructor seemed not to understand Liang Hui's sarcasm, and instead looked at him as if to say, you don't have to thank me. No need to thank me, we will be a family from now on. But we are not a family. I will be very grateful if we never meet again. What's that expression on your face? Are you dissatisfied with my cousin? What is so good about that campus beauty Liu from university? He looks so frail. I really don't know what you idiots think of him. My cousin is better. She has a big butt. The corners of Liang Hui's eyes twitched. This painting style was really bold. I'm afraid that if your cousin Gan Rui hears your comments about her, she will get angry and hit you, right? As the saying goes, a woman 3 years older than you is as good as a golden brick. Although my cousin is 6 years older than you, she is more feminine. Don't worry, brother-in-law. I will train you well in 1 week. When we challenge each other, you can fight well. My sister admires the strong. Liang Hui didn't want to talk much, he just knew that he was finished within this week. Judging from the stern-faced instructor's words, he wants to use a week to train me to kick the opponent's door. Sure enough, his words came true. In the afternoon, Liang Hui's screams could be heard from the playground from time to time. A big event also happened in the whole school. Because of the shout from the black-faced instructor, Liang Hui is being kept by the head of the martial arts academy. The students are jealous and hate him, so they want to challenge Liang Hui and steal his love away. In order not to lose face in front of Ganrui, Liang Hui angrily agrees to challenge her next week. All of a sudden, all kinds of melodramatic ethical plots popped up like mushrooms after rain in the school. But no matter which version it is, the students of the martial arts academy are always villains. This time the whole school was spreading the news, and the crazy people in the martial arts academy couldn't suppress the news anymore, so they just made harsh remarks from a distance. I will definitely beat Liang Hui to pieces in a week. Liang Hui was very troubled. But it's not as simple as challenging that group of lunatics, it's something far more complicated than that. My girlfriend must have heard about my being kept by someone from her best friend. How should I explain this? Why? Chapter 15, Single-handedly challenging the martial arts academy, an unprecedented sensation. Bauer, are you there? When Liang Hui was reading the message for Bai Yueguan, he also clicked on his information panel. Host, Liang Hui. Appearance, 97. Charm, 88. Popularity value, 144,000. Backpack, 1-hour pain loss card, 3-hour 18 arts mastery card, 1-day popularity doubling card, 8 instant stamina recovery cards, God level Swana. The abilities gained include God level singing voice, God level street dance, God level Swana skills, full level body movements, human level physical fitness, and master level Tai Chi. He also owns a milk tea shop, and has 1 million yuan that is steadily appreciating in value, so he can immediately take out 600,000 renminbi. For a moment, Liang Hui was a little dazed. Ding dong. Bai Yueguan, not here. Liang Hui's mouth curled up slightly. As long as you reply to the message, it will prove that he can calm down. I don't know what your best friend said to you, so I will tell you everything from beginning to end without missing a word. Last night I went to the supermarket to buy a cup of milk tea, and that guy came to me out of nowhere and offered to support me. Of course I refused without hesitation. Then she made a bet with me, saying that she would give me the milk tea shop if I went to challenge the martial arts academy alone. You also saw the video of me boxing yesterday. Only a fool would not want a shop that is given away for free. I made a bet with her. As for why she came to me, it was purely because of my sinister instructor, who was her cousin. He praised me to the skies in front of his cousin, and then there were a bunch of lunatics in the martial arts academy. His cousin came to me yesterday and forced me to fight her. This is what happened. Although various versions of the story are circulating around the school now, you can find out the truth by asking your best friend to ask the students she saw in the supermarket yesterday. I will never lie to you. You should know how outstanding I am. The school beauty came to the playground to find me for 2 consecutive days, but I drove her away in an almost humiliating way every time. I love you, my baby. Love you gentle and considerate. Love your occasional temper. After quickly typing out a short essay, Liang Hui leaned back on the quilt with ease and confidently threw away his phone. There is no right or wrong in misunderstandings between men and women. As long as you express your attitude and be a little sweet, it will act like glue after the misunderstanding is resolved. Let me ask. Which girl can resist this short essay by Liang Hui? Explain the matter clearly in a way of admitting the mistake, and end with a few corny but useful sentences. Room 506, Building 3. After watching it, Liu Yufei, Chu Ji and Du Qing exaggeratedly covered their eyes and backed away. Oh, my dear Bauer, you really misunderstood me. It makes me so sad. I love your little temper. I love your gentleness and thoughtfulness. Liu Shuqi was so embarrassed that she picked up the pillow next to her and threw it at them. In fact, she ran back to the dormitory from the playground sadly. After telling her roommates, the 4 of them kept analyzing this sudden incident, and various versions of the story were flying around on campus. Moreover, the students who saw the situation in Chaoli mentioned in the message sent by Liang Hui immediately spoke out to avenge the trouble caused by the martial arts academy to them. If Liu Shuqi was really angry, would not pay any attention to Liang Hui at all, so the moment she replied, "Not here," she was no longer angry, she just needed some sweet words. Humph. Sweet words won't work. I'll ask your best friend at school to check it out. If Liu Shuqi sent a series of raised fists and angry emojis. Investigate. Investigate thoroughly. Once the truth is revealed, I will be cleared of all charges. Should good people be pointed at with guns? What kind of bullshit is this? Liang Hui added a few laughing and crying expressions at the end to show his joking attitude. Are you blaming me for blaming you wrongly? Liang Hui could feel the cautiousness and a hint of begging for mercy in the text that was sent. In fact, this is true, in the girls' dormitory on the other side. Liu Shuqi held the phone, regret slowly growing in her heart. She was too willful. It would be uncomfortable for anyone to be wrongly blamed, let alone being distrusted by her own lover. Liang Hui now had a victorious smile on his face. Love is war. Build a strong bond with every move. Now Liang Hui changed his offensive and gained the advantage, but the important thing at this moment was not to press on the victory but to show magnanimity. Never mind, I understand that having a boyfriend as good as me does make you feel nervous all day long. Even the school beauty came to see me twice. Ask your best friend to go to the freshman and ask how I treat the school beauty. When Liu Shuqi in the girls' dormitory saw the news, she burst into laughter. The capital for your pride is given by me. Bar. How can there be someone as narcissistic as you? Are confident men the most handsome? In the next few days, Liang Hui finally experienced the fear of being dominated. Even if one has physical fitness that is at the ceiling of human capabilities. After each training session, I would lie on the playground like a tired dog, motionless. It is worth mentioning that every day, the campus beauty Liu Shuqi would bring a cup of milk tea, even though Liang Hui would tip her every time with a cold businessman's attitude. During this period, some brave freshman offered a price 5 times higher than Liang Hui's and asked the school beauties to send him milk tea. Result: being ignored. Finally, all the freshmen have become numb to the campus beauties of Liu University who come on time every day. Maybe the school beauty is just addicted to sending milk tea to Liang Hui. It's also possible that the school beauty didn't send the milk tea voluntarily. Maybe she lost a bet or something. Finally, the day has come for Liang Hui to challenge the Martial Arts Academy. The night before the challenge, the Martial Arts Academy once again made a bold statement: if Liang Hui dares to come tomorrow, we will beat him so hard that even his mother won't be able to recognize him. This is the first time since the establishment of the school that a student dared to openly oppose the military academy. Or one person taking on an entire school. It sounds like nothing more than a pipe dream and a fairy tale. For a moment, I don't know how many eyes in the school were closely watching the development of the situation. Liang Hui didn't take this matter to heart at all. Not to mention the various cards he drew, even if he learned them from a week of devilish training under the black-faced instructor, they were enough to defeat most of the students in the Martial Arts Academy. So he did not lower himself to shout at them from a distance. But what no one expected was that the stern-faced instructor couldn't stand it and fought back on Liang Hui's behalf. You are a bunch of idiots with muscles but no brains. Has anyone told you that the strength you have trained is just useless and cannot withstand a punch from my beloved disciple Liang Hui? Killing people and destroying their hearts. The crazy people in the Martial Arts Academy have gone completely crazy. Who do you think you are? Tomorrow I will beat up your beloved disciple, and then kick your ass. Boy, I remember your name, I am your teacher. Chapter 16: Song Qingshu's Strength. The moment the black-faced instructor said in a sinister way that he was the teacher, the news flying all over the internet fell into an eerie silence. Afterwards. Humph. What a clumsy trick. The teacher doesn't even go to the forum, right? Yes. As long as it's not too outrageous and no one reports it to the teacher won't intervene, okay? Do you understand? I'm really a teacher. I remember the most vicious people you mentioned. He got anxious, he broke the defense of the brothers. Will the brothers only remember our names? Grass. Look, brothers, the teacher is swearing. With this kind of mental endurance, he still calls himself a teacher, har. The dark-faced instructor's face was even darker than usual. Gloomy dripping water. I'll go look up your name and find your information now. Har, my name is Yiqian, Dormitory 101, apartment building number 4. The lofty sentiments and aspirations of the netizens on the other side instantly triggered cheers from the following audience. The instructor's face once again showed a devilish smile. He clenched his fists until they made a creaking sound, put away his phone, and walked towards building 4. Hey! Why is that brother who calls himself a teacher not on the same page? After a long time, the crowd who were looking for trouble sent another message. What else can I do? I can't make it up anymore. Har har har, I can't believe that in this day and age, there are still people claiming to be teachers online. How stupid. Wait, did you notice that brother He Chen hasn't spoken again? One sentence brought the message to a temporary halt. No one sent any more messages. Everyone was surprised and looked through their message records. Fuck. He really hasn't sent a single message since he revealed his address. For a moment, everyone was full of suspicion. Suddenly, the student named He Chen came online again. The internet is not a lawless place, please be careful with your words. After a while, the news broke out again like snowflakes. Har har har, high level black. Brother, you used all your taunts during this fight. Yes, this is the ultimate mockery of it. Look at how much more like a teacher he is than you. Dormitory 101, Building 4. It seems like two different worlds from the corridor outside. The dormitory door was tightly closed and it was silent inside. The sullen instructor looked at the message on his phone, his face becoming darker and darker. He Chen, who was bruised and swollen in front of him, was about to cry, "Teacher, I really didn't know it would be like this. I sent the message as you said. Tell me all the students you know. Tonight is destined to be a sleepless night." Liang Hui was also bored and browsing the news online. When he saw the netizen named Black-Faced Macho Man claiming to be a teacher, he knew that several students were destined to have trouble sleeping tonight. I didn't expect the instructor to be quite self-aware. He calls himself Blackface online, har har har. As for the fact that he was going to challenge the Martial Arts Academy tomorrow, Liang Hui was not in a hurry at all. But it's quite interesting to see a group of people online saying that the eunuchs are anxious while the emperor is not because of this matter. Liang Hui. The dormitory door was suddenly pushed open, and Song Qingshu nodded to Liang Hui to signal him to go out. Although he is not quite sure what his best friend is going to do, Liang Hui always trusts his best friend when it comes to external affairs. The two walked out of the dormitory side by side and slowly walked towards the playground. You will be challenging the Martial Arts Academy tomorrow, and I am almost ready. Song Qingshu mentioned it casually. Are you ready? Liang Hui suddenly realized what was going on. He remembered that they were also on the playground at that time and his best friend told him that he would help him in a week. Have you made all the preparations? Liang Hui was very curious about how far his best friend could go. He. Song Qingshu, who had been keeping his head down with an expressionless face, suddenly raised his head and gave Liang Hui the same treacherous smile as the black-faced instructor. He took out a yellow paper bag from his arms. Liang Hui took it in surprise, turned it over and saw the word laxative written on the paper package. Maybe your challenge match tomorrow will be delayed. Har har har. Liang Hui couldn't help but laugh out loud. It turns out that the better looking a teacher is, the more unethical he is when it comes to cheating people. How are you going to add laxatives to their meals? The Martial Arts Academy is separate from us. Song Qingshu smiled mysteriously. The hermit has his own ingenious plan. Since he didn't want to talk, Liang Hui didn't force him to ask any more. After all, he also had secrets in his system, and friendship without secrets would not last long. Liang Hui felt a little disgusted when he saw his best friend's arrogant expression. Why are you so proud? You just said it yourself. All they need to do is postpone the date. Can't you give them laxatives every time? Oh, that's right, Liang Hui, you are so cruel. You hinted that I should give him laxatives every time he eats to solve the problem fundamentally. You are so lacking in virtue. It turns out that being funny is the essence of best friends. It's better to have a delay, then you won't be beaten to death. Although he still hated Song Qingshu's pretentious expression, Liang Hui couldn't help but ask curiously, what does this mean? You should be aware that the online comments are all over the place right now. And our black-faced instructor has also gone online. Liang Hui spoke with suspicion and uncertainty. You did it? Not to mention that you even pushed the instructor online. Who told that sly-faced instructor to trick you all over the playground? You are my personal punching bag, and only I can trick you. This guy Song Qingshu is so mysterious. It was as if he was born with the ability to become the underground boss. Don't look at me like that. It's just that our instructor is very smart but a little confused. And most importantly, I'm not gay. Don't fall in love with me. Go away. This is how Liang Hui and Song Qingshu get along with each other in daily life. As long as they postpone the date, public opinion will grow and the instructors will drag their feet. The school will definitely intervene, and by then it will probably lead to a competition. If this really became a competition, with the whole school watching, you wouldn't have died a more miserable death. Why don't you believe that I can beat them all? You just need to cheer me up, but all you do is to make sure I don't suffer too much. Song Qingshu looked at Liang Hui as if to say, "Are you serious?" and took out another roll of A4 paper from his arms. "I didn't mean to hit you." I took it and opened it. It turned out to be the detailed information of students from the Martial Arts Academy, including their ages, what competitions they participated in, and what martial arts they practiced. "Where did you get this from?" Liang Hui was so shocked that he couldn't close his mouth. Song Qingshu still didn't explain. "Don't ask some questions, just know that we are best friends." "Har, you're still pretending to be deep in front of me. Believe it or not, I will post the story of you sneaking into the girls' restroom when you were a child on the school forum tomorrow. Fuck, Liang Hui, if you dare to post it, I will say that you used an 8x telescope to peek at the girls taking a bath on the opposite floor. Who would believe empty words without evidence? I still have the chat records of you begging for mercy. If you post this, it will be a real evidence. I watched a girl bathe. Do you have any evidence?" Grass. Chapter 17 The School's Decision. Liang Hui tossed and turned in bed, unable to sleep. Because I just casually flipped through the Martial Arts Academy information sent by Song Qingshu. Gan Rui actually learned Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling. Girls do not have a physical advantage, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu's technique of softening steel with fingers is indeed very suitable for women to practice. But in a fight, do you want to drag the man to the ground and perform entanglements and grappling? Is it really suitable? Now, whenever Liang Hui closed his eyes, the erotic and tragic battle scene when he would fight with Gan Rui tomorrow would emerge in his mind. After all, he is a young man full of vigor and vitality. Do I have to start my own saintly moment? Never mind. It is better for young people to have fewer moments of saintliness. Liang Hui jumped off the bed and took a few deep breaths. Do a set of Tai Chi to calm yourself. After Liang Hui finished dancing, he went to the bathroom before lying on the bed and falling asleep exhausted. Liang Hui fell asleep, but some people couldn't sleep all night. Office of the President of Huaxia Academy of Arts. Humph. What a joke that instructor is. He is a teacher after all. How can he lower himself to argue with students? The old principal, who has a strong man's Mediterranean hairstyle, is still imposing when he gets angry. The vice presidents and directors of departments below lowered their heads. Principal, he is a member of the military. He just came to our school to help with military training. I know, I fought in battles. The old principal wanted to say something else, but he finally shut up and asked, "Didn't old guy Li Jiangguo come?" No one dared to speak below. That old bastard, he's already retired but still refuses to behave himself. He insisted that I allocate a piece of land for him to set up a martial arts school. The old principal was interrupted before he could finish his words. Zhu Weiqian, you just love to say bad things behind people's backs. An old man wearing a Zhongshan suit, with his hair grey but still standing straight, pushed open the office door. I thought you wouldn't come again. After all, you are vice president. The old principal Zhu Weiqian sneered. Li Jiangguo first lit a cigarette for himself. Oh. Blow out smoke rings. Oh, vice president? I asked you for it at that time. This martial arts academy no longer belongs to your sissy art academy. It is independent and it is mine. The old principal looked at the robed Li Jiangguo in front of him and found it funny, so he lit a cigarette. You are still the same scoundrel as before. That's how you tricked me into giving up my bullets. The other teachers looked at each other and retreated quietly. Yeah, I really miss the past. I miss it. The old principal also followed Li Jiangguo's example, holding a cigarette and staring out the window. Li Jiangguo was not happy. Bar, you are the only one who still misses it? You just got discharged from the army and you're already messing up this art college and raising a bunch of sissies. You old bastard, do you know why the war broke out? I am an art student who failed the entrance exam. People who engage in art are more or less paranoid. If I open another art school, there will be a greater chance of peace. The old principal stood with his hands behind his back, looking very civilized and polite. Look at the young people in your school, they are all sissy, and they are the only ones who want to start a war? He he he. The gentlemanly old principal flew into a rage. Look at the martial arts academy you run, you bastard. It's just a bunch of lunatics. They only know how to use brutal force when encountering any problem. This is a civilized age and your methods are outdated. Li Jiangguo angrily put out his cigarette. I'm out of date. Har har. We at the Martial Arts Academy watch the news every day. I even specially invited a well-educated person to be the political commissar. Our values are much more positive than those of you, a bunch of celebrity-chasing sissies. 3 correct values. Look at the trouble you've caused now. The whole school is in turmoil. This time, Li Jiangguo did not respond immediately, but lit another cigarette. Let's have some fun. Young people have no energy if they don't make any fun. Don't forget when we were this age. I'm getting off topic again. Times have changed. Hey tilde. Li Jiangguo was no longer in the mood to smoke. I just look at the young people nowadays and feel a little worried. If there is another game, can they move forward? The old principal stared at the young couple kissing on the playground outside the window, and a trace of sadness welled up in his eyes. The actors know not the sorrow of losing their country, they still sing the song of the back garden across the river. If it really breaks out, it will be a blessing if they don't betray. The 2 old men, who had devoted themselves to their work, were now standing by the window, and an inexplicable atmosphere of sadness was brewing. After 2 months, I went back to the countryside and mountains. The old principal turned his head when he heard this and asked, looking for it again. Yes, he won't live for many years. Look for him more often. It's a pity to lose his ancestors' skills. Have you found those experts now? When this was mentioned, Li Jiangguo became excited. I told you that earlier this year I found the most authentic inheritor of Bajikan in a deep forest. After much persuasion from me, he said he would pack up and come to my martial arts academy this year. Har 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 har. Once again fell into silence. Let's make some noise this time. Still no one expected it. The school will send out a notice late at night. It is the time for freshmen to undergo military training. In order to better hone the physique of freshmen and cultivate their competitive spirit, the school is preparing to launch a martial arts competition. Tomorrow will be the initial 3 days, the venue will be the martial arts college, and all students can participate. The competition format is a ring battle. The competition format is very free, but there is only one thing just enough. This message is the school's attitude. The competition method is free. What kind of freedom is it? It was completely an idea that the school came up with on the spur of the moment, but there is one very important point about it. That's where school ends. After seeing the news sent by the school, all the students thought was that Liang Hui would not be beaten too badly. As expected, the school would not watch its students get beaten. As for that martial arts competition, who will go up? Go up and get killed. Room 506, Building 3. After seeing the school's notice, Liu Shuqi was completely relieved. Although she had watched the video of Liang Hui boxing before and was deeply shocked, she was still extremely worried. After seeing the news, she learned that Liang Hui was not in serious danger. She put the phone on her chest, closed her eyelids and went to sleep. Liang Hui, who was already fast asleep, didn't know about the notice issued by the school, otherwise he would have said something. Hey, that's enough. This is really limiting me. Sorry, I was watching a competition today, so the final typing is indeed a bit bad. I will revise it carefully tomorrow. But now the game is still going on, there is still a chance. EDG is awesome. EDG. Charge. Charge. Must win a championship. Chapter 18. Today's wind is very noisy. There is no military training today. But without the usual morning whistle, most of the freshmen still got up early. Even those seniors who were extremely lazy got up early today. Liu Yufei, Chu Ji and Du Qing, get up quickly. You promised to go with me to watch it last night. Well why are you in such a hurry? What time is it now? Are you so anxious to see your boyfriend get beaten? Liu Shuqi angrily threw a pillow at her, then quickly lowered her head. Par, there are no taboos today. Ouch, I was wrong. I was still sleepy and said the wrong thing. Your boyfriend must have been the one who shined today and beat the other guy to a pulp. Liang Hui on the other side was also woken up. Today is the day you challenged the martial arts academy. Everyone got up early, but you, the person involved, are still sleeping. Song Qingshu, dressed in black, pulled Liang Hui up in annoyance. Liang Hui, with sleepy eyes, inadvertently caught a glimpse of a long line of men in black in the corridor. Fuck. Song Qingshu was obviously very proud, but he scratched his head in a naive manner. They are all willing to go together to help you support the party today, hee hee. The man in black in the corridor nodded in unison. Hello, Brother Hui. For a moment, Liang Hui didn't know what to say. He smiled awkwardly and nodded at the group of men in black. He pulled Song Qingshu closer and spoke in a low voice. What are you doing? In school, so blatantly, but... Song Qingshu asked in confusion, does the school still control our clothing style? You guys are obviously a dark and evil force. Everyone is in their own head and is free to do whatever they want. Song Qingshu turned his head and looked at the group of men in black in the corridor. Under the gaze of their boss, Song Qingshu, the men in black straightened their backs and spoke in unison. We just wanted to wear black today. This is more like it, right? Liang Hui pulled Song Qingshu and whispered, are you sure everything is all right? What could possibly happen? We didn't steal or rob. We just went to watch a game. Right. Liang Hui looked helplessly at the serious-looking man in black in the corridor without saying anything. He walked through their formation cautiously and went to the bathroom to wash up briefly. Hey! Why are you wearing something like this? No black clothes. Song Qingshu pulled the white sweatshirt away from Liang Hui's hand. Smile. Is this your own will? Song Qingshu smiled embarrassedly and said, today is your big day to challenge the club. As your best friend, I have prepared a set of clothes for you. You also prepared clothes for me. Of course. Song Qingshu turned his head and clapped his hands behind him. A man in black respectfully brought a folded piece of clothing with both hands. He grabbed the collar with both hands and threw it. A plain black robe. The same robe as Master Yi's. Wearing it will give you infinite power. I would like to call it a buff battle suit. When the time comes, as soon as you get on stage, I will play the background music. Wow tilde tilde. Liang Hui's face was full of black lines. You're still thinking of cheating me at this time. It's really hard for you. Don't like this plan? Okay, here's another one. Snap. After the applause, another man in black presented it respectfully. A snow-white suit. Far from the mark. You're determined to make me socially dead today, right? Liang Hui looked at Song Qingshu, who had a simple and honest face, with a wry smile. I'm your brother, how can I cheat you? The person who said this was an instructor, and as a result, Liang Hui was immediately forced to work hard for the entire afternoon. Don't say that, Song Qingshu. You really sounded like Huaqiang when you spoke just now. Really? Real? Song Qingshu stopped smiling and looked fierce. No need to change the subject. Just tell me whether you will wear it or not. You must wear one of these two sets of clothes today. Okay. I'll just wear that white suit. Liang Hui didn't worry about it anymore, as he had already gotten used to it. Most importantly, you can also gain some popularity points. Brother Song. Brother Hui. Please. Liang Hui had just put on his clothes when a smart-looking man in black at the door immediately stood up in a military posture and shouted in a deep voice. The men in black who were originally crowded in the corridor quickly dispersed and stood in 2 rows with their hands behind their backs. Fuck. Who the hell is blocking the door outside? A shirtless boy who looked like a gangster suddenly rushed into a dormitory. Swish. The fierce gazes of the men in black in the entire corridor were instantly focused on the shirtless man. Brothers, please continue. I just want to go to the toilet. That's all. He nodded and bowed with his arms hunched. Song Qingshu glared at him and said, You have no sense at all. Go back to the dormitory and hold it in. Okay, bro. He kicked the door open in a very majestic manner, but when he went back he carefully closed the door. The man in black who was pushed away continued to stand in front of the dormitory door with an expressionless face, leaving the empty corridor in the hallway. Song Qingshu tidied his hair in a showy manner and gestured to Liang Hui. Liang Hui was dressed in a white suit, looking elegant and noble. Song Qingshu was dressed in a black Zhongshan suit, looking honest and upright. The two walked side by side in the aisle made available by their younger brothers, and whenever they passed a place, the younger brother in that place would follow closely behind them. When I walked out of the dormitory, dozens of men in black were following me. After this group of bullies walked out, the creaking sound of doors opening gradually began to be heard in the corridor. There was a head popping out of every dormitory. They are gone, come out. This is outrageous. I woke up early this morning and have been holding my pee until now. You are too cowardly. I was running to pee under pressure. To be honest, there were dozens of men in black crowded in the corridor. The feeling of oppression was really fucking enough. Why are they here today? Didn't you call them Brother Hui just now? Today is the day when the elusive Liang Hui goes to challenge the Martial Arts Academy. The leader, Song Qingshu, is the one who led us to capture Liang Hui that day. Then the two of them were enemies that day. How did they get mixed up? Is this still a competition? Isn't this just looking for trouble? Popularity value plus 10,000. Popularity value plus 30,000. Popularity value plus 60,000. Sure enough, Liang Hui listened to the system prompt sound in his mind without any surprise. This lineup is so oppressive. Students on campus saw it from afar and tried to get away as soon as possible. The one in white is Liang Hui. He is the one who wanted to challenge the Wu Academy for his beloved. A bright white among a group of black people, he is really handsome. If he can win the duel today, I will go and confess my love to him. Popularity value plus 90,000. Wear sunglasses. Song Qingshu took out a pair of sunglasses from his pocket and put them on. Dozens of people behind him put on sunglasses in unison. Liang Hui, the only one who was not wearing sunglasses, felt that the wind today was very noisy. What do you do? Liang Hui saw a group of fully armed security guards rushing over. Maybe all the security guards in the school are here? Liang Hui thought so. After all, even the gatekeeper was holding a rubber stick high up. Chapter 19, Laxative MVP. The security guard accidentally caught a glimpse of the large group of men in black on campus and almost chose to call the police. In the end, we decided to all take shields and sticks and go and see the situation. The moment Liang Hui saw the security guard, he immediately and unkindly distanced himself from Song Qingshu and the others. One pair. They are wearing black, but I am wearing white. The black-clad men behind him were a little flustered for a moment. After all, they were all new students. Cough. Song Qingshu coughed lightly to calm them and calmly took off his sunglasses. Master, what's the matter? As long as he takes off his glasses, he looks like a simple and honest person. After seeing Song Qingshu's honest appearance, the security guard became even more tough. What are you doing? Are you guys fighting? Song Qingshu was confused, then suddenly realized, Master is asking why we are dressed like this. Yes, you are affecting the school's spirit and appearance. Master, look at this. I was busy completing the homework assigned by the teacher. I am sorry for causing trouble to you. Sorry. While apologizing to the security guard, Song Qingshu hinted to Liang Hui with his eyes. Why? Liang Hui took out his mobile phone helplessly and posed for the photo. He immediately understood his best friend's hint. The security guard was at a loss for what to do after seeing Song Qingshu's enthusiastic apology. Homework assigned by the teacher. With a secret smile, Song Qingshu continued to explain. Yes, we are students of the directing department and are currently completing our own filming assignment. Master, the one in white at the back is the photographer. The security guard was staring at the man in black and didn't notice that there was a man in white behind him. When the security guard saw the pose Liang Hui was taking the photo in, he was quite cautious and quickly covered his face. Stop filming, stop filming. Song Qingshu rubbed his hands together and unobtrusively put his arm around a security guard. It's okay, Master, don't worry. Would you mind helping us film a scene together? You guys look extremely upright and righteous. We can't act, can we? Sure. Let's talk about it in detail. Liang Hui looked at Song Qingshu, who was arm in arm with the security chief, and could only say that he was very impressed. They are all students of the arrangement department. My best friend can speak fluently and his words are well reasoned and there are rarely any obvious language loopholes. The students passing by looked hopeless. The evil forces have colluded with the school security guards. After a while, Song Qingshu waved goodbye to the security guard enthusiastically, then walked over seriously. Today I'm going to teach you another lesson: don't hit someone who smiles at you. Offer some benefits and you'll be the host. From now on, as long as we don't cause any trouble on campus, we can walk around freely. But the most important thing for us is friendship, and we will help them realize their dream of becoming an actor one day. The black-clad younger brothers behind him looked at their boss with admiration and shouted in unison, "Follow Brother Song's instructions." To be honest, Liang Hui didn't want to hang out with this group of guys who were obviously not good people. The martial arts academy is at the innermost part of the school. There is still a long distance to go, and Liang Hui is very eye-catching along the way, and his popularity has increased a lot. Junior Liang Hui. Liu Shuqi saw Liang Hui instantly, and ran towards him without paying any attention to the three roommates behind her. Liu Yufei, who was behind her, saw a group of men in black clothes and sunglasses who didn't look like good people. She was so scared that she didn't dare to step forward for a moment, but in the end, she followed them out of consideration for her roommate Liu Shuqi. "Liang Hui, today is a big day for you Tilder." Looking at the charming beauty of the Liu University in front of him, he smiled and nodded. "Senior sister Liu, are you going to challenge today?" The campus beauty of Liu University choked up, Liu Yufei and the other two who followed behind just happened to hear these extremely outrageous yet extremely serious words. "This guy is a straight man of steel. I'm afraid this kind of guy won't be able to find a partner online. Could it be that he only dotes on Liu Shuqi on the internet and ignores other women?" The three of them looked at each other and exchanged a lot of glances. Popularity plus 500. Popularity plus 600. Popularity plus 100. This is the student Liang Hui who became famous right after entering school. He is really a handsome man. Let us help Liu Shuqi to identify it. I didn't expect that you all have such high fighting skills. Are you guys watching a game or challenging someone today? When Liang Hui and Song Qingshu were playing tricks on each other, Liang Hui was always slightly better, and his acting skills were naturally invincible. He was extremely serious at this time, and there was no intention of joking at all. Liu Yufei said in an awkward voice, "We are not too interested in this kind of fight, we just came with Liu Shuqi to cheer for you, junior brother." Only then did Liu Shuqi react and nodded repeatedly. Yes. Today is the day for junior brother Liang Hui to show off his skills. I will definitely take a beautiful photo of him as a souvenir. I'll try my best to give you the opportunity to take pictures, but if I'm beaten into a pig's head, don't take pictures. Song Qingshu, who was standing by, saw the scene becoming increasingly weird, so he quickly interrupted with a silly smile. Har, you've learned to be modest in front of a beautiful woman. You're destined to become famous today. Senior sisters, are you here to watch the game and relax? The atmosphere eased instantly. Liu Yufei quickly smiled and nodded. Yes, I'm so bored staying in the dormitory all day, now I finally have a chance to relax. Song Qingshu took off his sunglasses and put them in his pocket. I heard that the seniors are academic masters. Today, let us, a group of bad students, have fun with you. Liu Shuqi was obviously cold towards other men and didn't say anything else. Liang Hui's army has been joined by several super beauties. Even more alike. Finally one day the martial arts academy was open, and many students went in curiously. Along the way, from time to time, someone would cautiously peek at their army. Song Qingshu fought against 3 opponents and was not at a disadvantage at all. They were chatting and laughing, while Liang Hui and Liu Shuqi were relatively calm. Liang Hui is not unromantic, and there is a stunning campus beauty next to him, so he doesn't just retort against what others say. They still talked and laughed, but they were just acquaintances. Before I knew it, I was standing at the entrance of the martial arts academy. A burly man with a crew cut was standing at the door. When he saw the group of men in black, he clenched his fists and became nervous. What are you doing here? Liang Hui took the initiative to step forward and said, Hello, classmate. I'm here to challenge you. Are you Liang Hui? Are you going to fight one-on-one or in a group? The man with a crew cut swallowed hard as he felt the strong pressure from the group of men in black. Don't worry, I will challenge your martial arts academy alone today. Okay. If you want to challenge the master today, you have to go in first, har. Liang Hui took off his outer suit and wore only a loose white shirt. Liu Shuqi was quick-eyed and quick-handed and happily caught Liang Hui's coat. Everyone stepped back to make some distance. The man with the crew cut also clenched his fists and confronted Liang Hui. Gurgle gurgle tilde tilde gurgle gurgle. There was a rumbling sound in my stomach. Chapter 20, 18 Martial Arts Experience Card. Use the one-day popularity doubling card. Liang Hui first used the popularity doubling card because this card is valid for the whole day. It's a pity that I just remembered it now. Although the popularity value was relatively small when I was walking on the road just now, a mosquito is still meat, no matter how small it is. Liu Shuqi's eyes were filled with worry. This was her first time watching a fight up close. You must win, and don't get hurt. Take an offensive stance. Liang Hui planned to use the military boxing taught by the instructor first. Because it is fast and fierce enough. Jump left and right to constantly change the center of gravity of your body so as not to let the opponent guess the intention of your punch. At the same time, he approached the other party tentatively. Mumble tilde tilde tilde. Before he could reach him, his opponent's stomach grumbled again. Ouch! The opponent, the man with the crew cut, cried out in sorrow, clasped his hands behind him, and turned away without wasting a moment. The people who were ready to watch the show were stunned. What is going on? You were the one blocking the door and wanting to fight, but you were the first to run away. Liang Hui guessed the real reason for the incident, turned his head and looked behind him, and sure enough, he saw Song Qingshu making faces. Okay, everyone, let's go in. The guy with the buzz cut just now obviously doesn't dare to fight. Song Qingshu stood up. His tall figure wearing sunglasses gave people a strong sense of oppression. As soon as he opened his mouth, the people at the scene walked in quickly without saying much. If Liang Hui wants to enter the martial arts hall, he must first pass the checkpoint of our outer hall. The crowd walking deeper was stopped again. A shirtless man, every muscle on his body was as hard and distinct as stone, especially the bald head that shone brightly in the sun. He should be about 1.9 meters tall, right? So tall. Yes, just standing in front of me, I feel weaker. It's like facing a tiger. I can't muster the slightest resistance. Liang Hui is just like an elementary school student standing in front of him. I'm afraid he will only get beaten, right? None of the students watching the fun were optimistic about Liang Hui. Liu Shuqi is even worse. She was so scared that she didn't dare to look up at the bald man, but quietly tugged at Liang Hui's sleeve. Brother Liang Hui, why don't we just go back? Smiling at her and shaking his head, Liang Hui took the initiative to take a step forward. Mumble mumble tilde tilde tilde. The familiar sound of belly growling rang out clearly again. You're not going to run away again, are you? Did they take laxatives this morning? How come they all fail just as they are about to fight? Everything was exactly the same as before. The students around felt like it was a farce and could hardly muster any interest. However, this bald man was obviously stronger and did not just leave like the man with the crew cut just now. Instead, he shouted loudly. He raised his sandbag-sized fist high and smashed it hard on Liang Hui's head. Arr! Liu Shuqi screamed in fear, then quickly covered her mouth, afraid of distracting Liang Hui. Of course Liang Hui wanted to be distracted. He dodged it easily by turning sideways, and at the same time, he hit the big man's side directly with a hook from the side. Oh! The bald man cried out in pain like a wild beast and fell to the ground with a bang. He covered his side with a grim look on his face, and at the same time the pain made him unable to hold back and something came out of his back. Popularity plus 2000. Popularity value plus 6000. Popularity value plus 7000. It's that simple. Before everyone could recover from the shock, Liang Hui had already ended the fight. Liu Yufei looked at Song Qingshu in disbelief. Is it really that simple? Swallowing his saliva, Song Qingshu nodded. He had never expected that his best friend, whom he had grown up with, actually had this trick up his sleeve. Liang Hui did not stop and continued to walk deeper. 3 bold men blocked the way again, but every fight was preceded by a grunting sound, and then instantly resolved by Liang Hui's punch. Everyone following behind has a sense of unreality. Is Liang Hui really that powerful? He solves every problem with just one punch. Is he one punch man? No, didn't you hear the opponent's grunt every time he was alone? So, Liang Hui has no moral principles. Hush, look at the group of men in black behind them. Just know what's going on, but don't say it out loud. Liang Hui ignored the contempt in everyone's eyes. Although it was not he who ordered the laxative, he did not think there was anything wrong with it. It was not fair for one person to choose one hospital, and it was a skill for him to give the other party a laxative. Finally walked into the inner hall, which is the venue for today's challenge. The venue was already full of spectators, who had arrived early just to find a good seat. Liang Hui is really here. One of them was the first to see Liang Hui. In an instant, all eyes were focused on Liang Hui, who was dressed in white at the entrance. Popularity plus 600. So he has already beaten up those scary bald guys at the door? What a pity I didn't see it. Don't feel sorry. Being able to be put outside to stand guard is just a small dish. The one who welcomes Liang Hui inside is the main dish. Song Qingshu nodded to Liang Hui, and then took the worried Liu Shuqi and others to find the best seats for watching the movie. Could you please give up a seat in your row? Why? Do you know how early we came? Big brother, you guys sit down. I suddenly remembered that I haven't finished my homework yet. Liang Hui no longer paid attention to Song Qingshu and the others, but stared at a row of students standing opposite him in black martial arts robes. There were men and women, some were unarmed, some were armed with knives and sticks. One of the boys, who was not tall and looked very ordinary, jumped onto the stage first and looked at Liang Hui provocatively. Use the 18 martial arts experience card. He not only wants to win, but also wants to win beautifully. If you are good at boxing, I will beat you with my fists. If you are good at swordsmanship, I will defeat you with my swordsmanship. Liang Hui also jumped onto the stage. Fists and feet have no eyes. I am Zhaoxin, the master of Tongbei Fist. The ordinary-looking man swung his arms and lowered his center of gravity, releasing his pressure naturally. Liang Hui clasped his fists and said, I am Liang Hui, and I also know a little bit about Tongbeiquan. Oh! Zhaoxin shouted loudly, ran towards him at lightning speed, and hit Liang Hui with an elbow. Liang Hui took a slight step back to avoid the attack. However, Zhaoxin's attack was not over yet. He pulled back, turned around, and punched towards Liang Hui's temple from the side. The people in the audience who were paying close attention gasped. This is a complete beating to death, right? Martial arts are meant to kill people, but don't worry, they don't dare to do that in this day and age. Just watch out, they will definitely deflect or hold back. This Tongbei Quan is really powerful. Liu Shuqi was the one with her mouth wide open. She was scared but didn't want to miss it, so she stared at Liang Hui on the stage. A smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Liang Hui's current comprehensive abilities are beyond the reach of ordinary people. He raised one arm to block the fist heading for his temple, and then he brought his other arm inward and hit him in the chest with his elbow. Good. The people in the audience couldn't help but shout. Liang Hui not only resolved Zhaoxin's attack, but also launched his own attack. However, Zhaoxin was no pushover. He slightly kicked his toes and retreated backwards to avoid Liang Hui's attack. There's something. Zhaoxin said with a contemptuous tone. Snort. Show off in front of me and let me show you what real coolness is. Liang Hui decided to increase his popularity. Your forehand is not good, your backhand is weak, your steps are loose, and your footwork is not decent. How can you expect to compete with me? Dream on. Chapter 21, Win the game but lose reputation. Hiss. Mad. Too crazy. Popularity value plus 6,000. Popularity value plus 8,000. Popularity value plus 9,000. Liang Hui is too arrogant. They were clearly evenly matched just now. Is this Liang Hui? He's quite handsome. I heard he's today's freshman, right? He was the one who showed off his skills in the talent show a few days ago, right? Zhaoxin's eyes flashed with murderous intent. Boy, you will pay the price for what you said. As soon as he finished speaking, he quickly ran towards Liang Hui again. I said you can't do it. If you want to beat him, go practice Tongbeiquan for another 100 years. Liang Hui said seriously. Every move in the ring has advances and retreats. But anyone could see that Zhaoxin barely dodged each time, while Liang Hui was at ease as if he was just playing around. Popularity value plus 10,000. There was no worry in Liu Shuqi's eyes at this moment, but instead there were little stars in them. I seem to have fallen in love with the treasure boy online. Liu Yufei and her friends, as well as the group of black-clad younger brothers, were all excited by the calm and composed figure on the ring. However, only Song Qingshu had regret in his eyes. He ignored Liang Hui's true strength at the time, and was so worried that he gave the martial arts academy students a laxative. Originally, he thought that Liang Hui had no chance of winning, so he played without any burden. But now he is afraid that the matter will be exposed, and Liang Hui will end up with a reputation of winning unfairly. The competition on the ring is still going on. Zhao Xun has always been under Liang Hui's control, and the more the fight goes on, the more anxious he becomes. He shouted loudly and punched Liang Hui in the chest with his fists. It's a style of fighting in which death is exchanged for injury. He had already determined that he would lose, and decided to severely injure Liang Hui at the last moment to create an advantage for the next one. The martial arts students at the side of the stage were not too surprised. If they were in power, they would make the same choice. They are a whole. Liang Hui's attempt to challenge the club alone is nothing but a foolish dream. The audience sat up straight and stretched their necks, not wanting to miss any changes on the stage. Oops. Song Qingshu couldn't help but pound his fist, shake his head and sigh. What's wrong? Isn't the situation settled? Liu Yufei asked in confusion after hearing the sigh. Liu Shuqi on the side was also listening curiously. Liang Hui will definitely win this round, but I'm not sure about the next round. You see, Liang Hui is doomed to fail to dodge this punch, because they are both using Tongbaikun to attack each other, so that guy will lose anyway, but the injured Liang Hui will not be able to challenge again in the next round. How despicable. The little girl Liu Yufei simply cursed after hearing Song Qingshu's explanation. After hearing the explanation, Liu Shuqi looked at Zhao Xun with the same contempt, and was worried about her junior brother. Boy, I admit that you are very good, but your challenge today ends here. There was madness and fierceness in Zhao Xun's eyes. There was no mercy in his punch. If Liang Hui hit him, he would definitely be seriously injured. He was also cruel to himself. If Liang Hui did not hold back, he could have broken several of his ribs, or even punched him in the heart, killing him on the spot if he was unlucky. Humph, I told you don't deserve it. Full level of physical skills. Liang Hui dodged the fierce punch at a speed that no one could even see, and at the same time he swung his fist out. Of course he didn't use his full strength in this punch, otherwise he would have killed Zhao Xun with one punch. But I will never let him off easily. Bang! With a dull thud, Zhao Xun's body flew backwards like a broken sack. Boom! Puff! Zhao Xun fell heavily to the ground, spitting out blood. There was an uproar at the scene, and everyone stood up and stared at Zhao Xun lying on the ground. Blood spurted out. Popularity value plus 6,000. Popularity value plus 50,000. Popularity value plus 60,000. His move just now was also intended to seriously injure me, but don't worry, nothing serious will happen. I held back just now. At most he will have to stay in the hospital for a week. Liang Hui is not afraid of the trouble that may come later. After all, it is a challenge competition organized by the school, and some injuries are inevitable during the competition. A girl holding a knife in the audience looked sadly at Zhao Xun lying on the ground, and glared at Liang Hui angrily. He jumped onto the stage and said, "My knife is unsharpened." Liang Hui, come on. It cannot be denied. Liang Hui had anticipated this. Everyone knows that the cycle of revenge will never end, but if he really encountered this situation, who could remain cold-blooded and absolutely rational? Liang Hui also pulled out a wooden sword from the weapon rack next to him. He had said before, give someone a taste of their own medicine. Zhao Xun was quickly carried away by the medical staff on the scene, and the audience sat down again and watched the game attentively. Bang! The door of the competition venue was suddenly pushed open, and several pale-faced bald men rushed in, holding their stomachs. After they recovered from the pain, they have stayed in the toilet until now. You can imagine how cruel the person who gave them the laxative was. Liang Hui won unfairly. He gave us a laxative. A word is like a stone thrown into the lake, causing 1,000 waves. What? Is Liang Hui so aggressive just because the other party has a stomachache? I can testify that when we were fighting outside, every bald guy's stomach would growl before the fight. It was obvious that they had eaten something bad. That's what I was saying. If a person is really not strong, then why doesn't he just apply to the martial arts academy? It turns out he uses such despicable moves. I didn't expect such a handsome junior to have such a bad character. Popularity value plus 70,000. Popularity value plus 80,000. Popularity value plus 90,000. Regret burst out in Song Qingshu's eyes. Is this really what is going to happen? He wanted to step forward and take responsibility for all the consequences, as he was actually the one who caused them. You blame me for your stomachache. You lost money today, was it stolen by me? Liang Hui shouted at the bald men like a scoundrel. Song Qingshu looked at Liang Hui with emotion. Yes, they have refused to admit it since they were young. Yes. Is this the so-called martial arts academy? They have always been bullying others by taking advantage of their power, and now they are blaming Liang Hui for the food problems. Do they really think we are easy to bully? Song Qingshu's skill in making unreasonable demands was even worse. As soon as he opened his mouth, he directly pointed out the unfair fact that Liang Hui was treating a group of people alone. At the same time, a group of his younger brothers in black clothes and sunglasses stood up in unison. Liu Shuqi also stood up. She didn't care who was right or wrong, she just knew that she would stand on Liang Hui's side. The bold men who were shouting suddenly lost their voices. Liang Hui himself agreed to challenge our martial arts academy. He was fine normally, so why did he get a stomachache today? There must be something wrong when things are out of the ordinary. In fact, most of the students who were watching the game believed that Liang Hui and his team had drugged the players. After all, the timing was really perfect. A beautiful figure at the back of the crowd stood up and slowly walked towards the ring. This figure was Gan Rui. She originally didn't want to show up so early, but if she came out to host, today's competition would probably be ruined. Chapter 22, One Man's Martial Arts World. Undefeated Legend. Just like when she first appeared, the pleasant sound of high heels rang out in the noisy gym. It seemed as if she had some special magic that attracted everyone's attention. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Gan Rui walked onto the stage step by step, twisting her waist gently. She even threw a coquettish glance at Liang Hui. Liang Hui blushed slightly. Mature sexiness has always been his weak spot. Liu Shuqi in the audience had flames in her eyes and snorted softly, "Humph, vixen." Liu Yufei quietly poked Liu Shuqi, "This is a big rival of yours. Look, your boyfriend is blushing. Har har har. HMPH. Her figure is just so-so, not as good as mine. She is just flirty." Liu Shuqi was indignant, with a flickering light in her eyes. "I will also change clothes tonight." Gan Rui stood on the stage and turned to look at the Student Affairs Office of the Martial Arts Academy. "Are you also going to say that you took laxatives?" None of them dared to look at the big sister Gan Rui, and they all lowered their heads. Nodding with satisfaction, Gan Rui looked at the confused audience again and coughed softly a few times. Naitang ate a special meal today to prepare for the competition, and his physical condition is exceptionally good. Wasn't the competition just now exciting? The next games will be better than the last, so just watch the games with peace of mind. As for what happened to the breakfast outside, we will definitely investigate it in detail. Song Qingshu took the opportunity to yell again, "Did you hear that? The head of the inner hall has admitted that it was just that guy who was incompetent. What are you guys arguing about?" Gan Rui, who had always been smiling, suddenly froze in laughter. "Why is this gangster-like kid talking to you in such a rude way?" Liang Hui was also speechless. He could feel that the woman with the knife opposite him was getting even angrier. This best friend of his had to trick him at this time and draw hatred from him. After seeing the leader speak, the bald men didn't say a word. Seeing that there was nothing to watch, the people at the scene sat down and continued watching the game. "I'll let you experience a cold more painful than Zhaoxin's. I won't show any mercy to women, so be careful." In the end, Liang Hui held back and only knocked the knife out of her hand, and put the wooden sword on her neck. Popularity value plus 7,000. Popularity value plus 6,000. How come Liang Hui is so good at wielding a knife? Yes, whether it's the Tongbei fist or the broadsword just now, they are both more awesome than those trained in specialized martial arts schools. Look, here comes another one with a gun. After defeating the girl with a knife, a boy with a spear immediately came up. There is no time for Liang Hui to rest at all. Do you think Liang Hui will also take up a gun this time? Shouldn't it be? The spear without a tip was pointed at Liang Hui. Although this is shameful, you chose to challenge one hole at a time. If you win, you will be deified by stepping on the reputation of our martial arts academy. Liang Hui didn't say much, put down the wooden sword and chose to pick up a spear. As the other party said, if they win, it will be a slap in the face of the entire martial arts academy, so Liang Hui will certainly not show any mercy. Be careful. The spears in the hands of the two men on the ring looked like a dragon lurking in the clouds or a giant dragon tumbling in the sea. The people in the audience were dazzled. For a moment, no one dared to even breathe for fear of missing something. Their boy kept swallowing his saliva, wishing he could wield swords and guns as well. Every boy has a martial arts dream. The girl stared at the white figure on the stage, always confident and calm, just like the young man in white robe and jade face described in the book. It satisfies all their imaginations of ancient handsome men. Liu Shuqi's roommates were also stunned, even the most calm Liu Yufei spoke in a trance. Shuqi, tomorrow I will help you seduce Liang Hui, and help you determine if he is a playboy, har 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 har. Humph. I don't need you. Liu Shuqi rolled her eyes at her roommate, and at the same time her heart felt as sweet as honey. A guy like him is destined to attract a lot of girls. But, you must be my man in the end. After Liang Hui pushed his opponent away with one palm, he returned to the original state and stopped practicing Tai Chi. He just lost 8 games in a row. And he uses the same moves as his opponent. Popularity value plus 90,000. Popularity value plus 80,000. Popularity value plus 110,000. The only sound at the scene was Liang Hui's slight breathing, and for a moment the people in the audience were stunned. Then, there was thunderous applause and a rogue whistle. Liang Hui, you're so damn handsome, come and fencing with me tonight. Little brother, do you have a girlfriend? You are such a violent little brother. Your academic performance must be poor, right? I will help you with your studies. There was chaos off the field, and Liang Hui took the opportunity to rest before his opponent came on stage. He did not intend to use another instant physical recovery card. Because there is no need. The opponents in the previous rounds were not enough to completely exhaust him. After a while, Gan Rui appeared. A black tights. The scene suddenly became quiet, and everyone was attracted by the explosive figure. Liang Hui touched the tip of his nose. It seemed that he was still quite hot after playing those 8 games. When Liu Shuqi saw Liang Hui's embarrassing look on the stage, she angrily put her hands behind her back to tighten her shirt. Mine is not small either. Little brother, don't let your imagination run wild. If you get distracted for a moment, I might strangle you to death. Gan Rui's every frown and smile was full of charm. Liang Hui still only said one sentence, be careful. TSK, who should be careful? After saying this, Gan Rui rushed towards Liang Hui like a female leopard that had been lying in ambush for a long time. When he got close, he jumped like a facehugger among the opposite sex, hugged Liang Hui's head and fell to the ground due to inertia. Woo woo woo. What are you doing? Let go of that boy and let me do it. Popularity value plus 90,000. Popularity value plus 100,000. Liu Shuqi in the audience blushed even more, and it was unclear whether she was embarrassed or anxious. Liu Yufei noticed that Liu Shuqi was about to cry, and quickly reached out to hold her and comforted her. Shuqi, don't be angry, medicine and martial arts are not gender specific, and he is not allowed to fight with other girls in the future. Liu Shuqi nodded heavily, closed her eyes and stopped reading. The two people on the stage were entangled with each other, but Liang Hui did not have a single evil thought in his mind. It's not that he is abnormal, it's just that as long as he is distracted for a moment, Gan Rui can instantly seize the opportunity to grab one of his arms. Now his right arm is so painful that he can't use it. This kind of close combat judo is even more dangerous, because if you are not careful, there is no chance to dodge and you may break an arm directly. Use an instant stamina recovery card. Liang Hui finally won the battle by using the recovery card, which shows how strong Gan Rui is. You are so lucky, little brother. Gan Rui panted and reached out to tie up her messy hair. She was full of charm. Liang Hui didn't dare to look at her and turned away. Har har har, what an interesting and innocent little brother. Gan Rui laughed so hard that her body shook, then walked off the stage. Liang Hui is the only one left on the ring. The scene was completely silent. No one would have thought that Liang Hui could really take on an entire restaurant by himself. Who else? Liang Hui's voice was not very loud, but it was powerful. Boom boom, we win. Liang Hui is awesome. The people at the scene witnessed a myth and jumped up and shouted excitedly. Liu Shuqi's face flushed with excitement as she rushed onto the stage and ran into Liang Hui's arms. The part about super physical strength has come to an end. 1 cast 2 votes. Chapter 23, Senior Sister, Please Respect Yourself. Liang Hui was immersed in the joy of his skyrocketing popularity, and he was suddenly hugged by someone without paying attention. The person subconsciously put his hands around her willow-like waist. Are you finally moved by my sincerity? Liu Shuqi secretly buried her head in Liang Hui's chest, which gave her a sense of security. Suddenly, a big hand pressed his head and pushed him away, and he saw Liang Hui looking suspicious. Senior sister, please respect yourself. Her pretty face flushed with embarrassment. When had she ever been like this before? Isn't this the excitement of winning the game? Ahem, har har har. Liang Hui looked at the shy and embarrassed beauty of Liu University and couldn't help but tease, no matter how happy you are, you don't have to throw yourself on me. Are you happy about my happiness? Liu Shuqi's pretty face turned even redder, but she raised her head unconvinced, revealing her white jade neck. Does it mean you're at a disadvantage if you're hugged by the beauty from Liu University? Wang Po is so self-promoting and boastful. She has no sense of modesty at all. Liang Hui is a normal man, who would refuse to have a pleasant chat with a beautiful woman. Of course Liang Hui also has his bottom line. He has a partner, even if it is an online relationship, it is still a partner, so he can talk to other girls, but a more advanced relationship will never happen. She also deliberately puffed out her chest, Liu Shuqi intentionally wanting to compete with Gan Rui. Am I not beautiful? It's very beautiful. The eyes of the masses are sharp. You talk so funny. Since you think I'm pretty, why did you push me away just now? Liu Shuqi blinked seductively. Liang Hui could see that she wanted to learn to flirt like Gan Rui, but her imitation was not only not charming at all, but also looked even more adorable when she winked. I couldn't help but chuckle. What are you laughing at? Liu Shuqi was already very nervous because it was her first time to flirt, and Liang Hui's smile made her even more restrained. No, actually you are not suitable for the mature route, you are more suitable for the style of the pure girl next door. After hearing the first half of the sentence, Liu Shuqi's eyes dimmed, but they brightened up after hearing the second half. So which style do you prefer? Pure or innocent? This time Liang Hui frowned. Senior, please respect yourself. I have a girlfriend. The originally happy school beauty paused, but for some reason she became even happier. Brother Liang Hui, I remember your partner seemed to be an online lover, right? Yeah, not bad. Online romance is hard to grasp. I never thought that Liang Hui is so serious. Liang Hui looked at Liu Shuqi for a while and spoke. This is a matter of personal opinion. I think love is about having each other's time and care. Just like roses, there are many more beautiful ones in the world, but I only water and fertilize the one I grow at home. I give it water and love. It is unique to me, and I am also unique to it. It's also worth mentioning that the tone of your voice is quite similar to my boyfriend S. Maybe all you girls are like this. At the end, Liang Hui was just talking to himself. He was thinking about what to talk about with his partner tonight. And Liu Shuqi on the side did not disturb him. I didn't expect him to be so serious. The more you come into contact with it, the more fascinating it becomes. I almost got exposed just now. However, I am really looking forward to what his expression would be like if he discovered the truth one day. Song Qingshu and Liu Yufei stared at Liang Hui and the other man on the stage, and also smiled kindly like aunties. Hey, are you also happy about your best friend's big event? Junior. Senior. Oh, you speak first, har har har. After they looked at each other and smiled, one ignored her best friend on the stage, and the other ignored his best friend on the stage and his younger brothers off the stage, and they walked out of the martial arts hall together, chatting happily. The people in the field were walking out in scattered groups. However, a few brave girls did not leave immediately, but chose to stay. Brother Liang Hui, I am the vice president of the student union, and I would like to invite you to join the study department. Brother Liang Hui, I am the director of the aesthetic education department. I saw your talent show the other day. If you are so talented, you can be the deputy director directly if you come to the aesthetic education department. Handsome boy, you are so good at fighting, you must be very strong. I have been weak and boneless since I was a child and can't carry my school bag. Can you help me carry my school bag in the future? I will give you money. Handsome, I want to learn judo, can you teach me? I'm wearing a short skirt and I'm always being peeped at by perverts. I'm scared, brother. Can you protect me? In an instant, about a dozen girls gathered under the stage. 100 flowers bloom, vying for the lead. Those boys who had not left yet wanted to kneel down to Liang Hui on the stage. He is truly a god. Their faces are so distorted that they are unrecognizable, it's so fucking infuriating. The scene was even more spectacular than the victory in the challenge just now. Some girls have even started to climb onto the stage. One fat girl in particular was even more brutal. She grabbed a handful of money and threw it out, wanting to take the opportunity to get on stage while others were picking it up. However, no girl picked up the money. Fat girls are not right, plump beauties are okay, a boy suddenly shouted. His companions were shocked. You are willing to do this? Do you value money over life? I don't like people's money, I just prefer plump bodies. Look at my muscles, beautiful lady. Liu Shuqi on the stage was also shocked when she saw girls climbing up all around her. Then he put his arm around Liang Hui as if to assert his sovereignty and looked around provocatively. However, Liang Hui was not as happy as other boys thought. But horror! The girls with pale faces crawled onto the stage ferociously, just like zombies released from a cage. Liang Hui looked at the campus beauty Liu, who embraced him again and pulled his arm away seriously. Senior sister, please respect yourself. Brother, the school beauties are all picked randomly, just look at them. Junior, you have such great talent that you can't let it go unnoticed. Fuck, who the hell pulled my hair? Liang Hui shrank his neck in fear. Crazy senior classmates are as scary as old ladies having sales in the supermarket. Senior, take care of yourself. After Liang Hui kindly reminded the campus beauty Liu, he took a deep breath and exerted force with his legs, leaping up towards the audience. There was also a fat girl in the air as a secondary jumping platform. Landed smoothly. Finally, I broke through the impact line of many girls. Liang Hui turned his head and saw the disheveled school beauty on the stage, and gave a thankful smile. Then he ran towards the entrance of the martial arts gym. At the same time, he also kindly reminded the male compatriots who were hit by lightning in the field. Why don't you leave quickly? When the seniors wake up, will you, who have seen their ugly behavior, have a good life in the future? Fuck, yeah, run. Chapter 24, Only the one who perseveres to the end is true love. After rushing out of the martial arts academy, Liang Hui did not stay in the academy for long and went straight to the dormitory. Lying on the bed excitedly. This time it's going to be posted. One person challenged the entire martial arts academy and was besieged by many senior female classmates. Any one of them would be explosive news. Liang Hui also had the foresight to use a popularity doubling card. Is this popularity worthy of breaking through 1 million? Liang Hui did not open the system immediately, but excitedly guessed the number of popularity points he had obtained in his mind. Finally, the information panel was summoned. Host, Liang Hui. Appearance, 97. Charm, 88. Popularity value, 3 million. Fuck. 3 million. Jumped out of the bed excitedly. Several people in the same dormitory were immediately frightened, glanced at each other resentfully, and did not dare to say much. You can come to the crystal lottery 30 times. But Liang Hui had no intention of drawing a lottery now because he didn't have anything urgently needed. If you can get by, don't be see. Liang Hui has always adhered to the free and easy qualities that contemporary young college students should have. The best thing is to have food and clothes provided for you, and live a happy life. Keep these popularity points for now. It won't be too late to draw them when you need something in the future. Grandpa, my grandson is calling. Suddenly his cell phone rang. Who would call me at this time? A strange phone call. Hello, who are you? Liang Hui, I am. Bai Yueguang? The call came from the person he was dating online. Liang Hui was just curious as to why he sounded angry at first but then quickly changed his tone. Oh Bauer, how did you know my phone number? There was a sound of deep breathing coming from the other end of the phone, and after a while the other end spoke. Isn't your WeChat ID the same as your phone number? Listening to the playful voice on the other side, Liang Hui always felt that their voice seemed very familiar. However, the voices of the girls who used microphones in the game were all similar. Liang Hui did not pay much attention to them, but spoke with a faint smile. My baby is so smart. All my other friends have to ask me for my phone number. Do you know why I called you? It seems like this is really the first time we've talked on the phone. Why did Bauer think of calling me? Humph. You still dare to say that? What do you think you did today? Hearing the other party's angry tone, Liang Hui had already imagined the other party's scene, with one hand on his waist and puffing his mouth. However, in reality. Room 506, Building 3. Liu Shuqi, with disheveled hair, stood crying in the middle of the dormitory. Her roommates were caringly helping her to tidy up her hair and brush off the dust on her body. Just now, after Liang Hui left her on the stage, she took great pains to slowly get out. She ran back to the dormitory quickly, covering her face and not daring to see anyone. As a result, she was mercilessly laughed at by her roommates, and then she couldn't help crying. I did have a fight with a hot girl today, but I won. How about your boyfriend? Isn't he awesome? Liang Hui avoided the important points when speaking. Wow tilde, after hearing Liang Hui's smug voice, Liu Shuqi couldn't hold back the grievance in her heart any longer. Why should I have to squeeze through the crowd like a little beggar while you have achieved such brilliant success? Liang Hui was instantly distracted by a sudden cry of grievance coming from the phone. Don't cry, I know you must have heard the nonsense your best friend in school said. I did wrestle with her, but there was no romantic feeling at all. This is a dangerous jutsu that could easily result in broken bones. The other party didn't say anything, just kept sobbing quietly. Don't cry yet. I promise you that I will never fight with any woman in close combat again. Can I tell you a joke? Liang Hui couldn't bear to hear girls cry. In the girls' dormitory, Chu Ji and Du Qing both gave Liu Shuqi a thumbs up, and their eyes looked at each other with the same meaning. Liu Shuqi is really good at this. Without saying anything, she cried and made the other person feel guilty. She promised not to approach other girls in the future. Hearing Liang Hui's promise, Liu Shuqi wiped away her tears and said while suppressing her sobs. That's better. I forgive you. You must tell a funny joke. Don't worry, you will definitely laugh after listening to my jokes. Liang Hui is very knowledgeable about the jokes he is going to tell. Even if he doesn't make her laugh, it will definitely satisfy her. Today, I accomplished the feat of taking on a martial arts school by myself. Well, my bestie even took a video of me. You look especially handsome today. Yeah, I felt extremely handsome myself, and you know that after the end the school beauty ran up to me and wanted to hug me, but I didn't give her a chance and stopped her in time. Liu Shuqi on the opposite side curled her lips and thought to herself, you didn't stop it in time, and you only reacted after I hugged you. Then what? Then, a group of hungry seniors surrounded the ring where I was. You don't know, they were just like old ladies who saw discounted eggs in the supermarket. Har har har, your analogy is so apt. Liu Shuqi burst into laughter. She was also on the stage recalling the scene at that time. Wasn't it just a crowded and crazy old lady? Hearing the other party's clear and pleasant laughter, Liang Hui was also in a good mood. In the end, I left the school beauty on the stage alone to face the group of old ladies, and I ran away alone. Har 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 har, whenever I think of the school beauty's confused expression at the end, and then her miserable look as she squeezed out of the crowd, it's funny, har har har. Liang Hui laughed so hard that he fell backwards and couldn't stop. He was laughing so happily that he ignored the fact that there was no laughter from the other party on the phone. Building 3, Room 506. Liu Shuqi, who was holding the mobile phone, was struck by lightning. He actually took it from me. I really wanted to hit him with a hammer. But we can't blame him. On the contrary, we should reward him for his seriousness and loyalty. Thinking about her own miserable appearance, she found it funny. She couldn't help laughing and crying out of grievance. Chu Ji and Du Qing, who were helping her tidy up her hair, looked at the weird Liu Shuqi in doubt and looked at each other in fear. Is this joke funny? Liang Hui tried hard not to laugh and asked intermittently. This is so funny. Why do I feel like you are speaking fiercely through gritting your teeth? No, it's just too funny. I have to try hard not to laugh before I can talk. Oh, I see. You see, I am serious about you. I tortured the school beauty like that. I guess she is about to kill me now. What do you think? I think so. After chatting with her for a few more words, Liang Hui felt that something was not right with her, so he found an excuse to hang up the phone. Then he walked out of the dormitory and went to the supermarket to buy something to eat. And Building 3, Room 506. Liu Shuqi clenched her teeth tightly. I just don't believe that I don't have that charm. After all, I have been the school beauty for 2 consecutive years. I must make you fall at my feet, and then tell you that I am your white moonlight, making you embarrassed. Humph, tilde. Chapter 25. Let us make it clear. I'm chasing Liang Hui. Even if you accomplished something mythical yesterday, not much will change today. There was still a shrill whistle sound in the corridor. Liang Hui rushed to the playground as usual. If there is any difference, it is that Liang Hui has fewer friends. Either they regard him as a love rival, or they dare not play around with him freely anymore. However, no one would still be interested in making friends in college, right? The only thing that made Liang Hui happy was that today's black-faced instructor didn't seem to control his thoughts anymore. A normal military training morning, with everyone standing at attention and marching in step. Song Qingshu suddenly switched seats with a classmate next to Liang Hui. Liang Hui. What are you doing? It's military training time now, keep your voice down and don't turn your head or make any movements. What's wrong? Liang Hui has an indelible shadow on the black-faced instructor. Song Qingshu seemed not to have heard it and turned his head dramatically to look at Liang Hui. Song Qingshu, Liang Hui, what are you two doing? Run 9 laps. The black-faced instructor's eagle-like sharp eyes instantly fixed on Liang Hui and the other man. Why? He definitely did it on purpose. Liang Hui sighed helplessly, walked out of the formation and ran along the playground. Tell me, is there anything better than running laps under the blazing sun? Song Qingshu, who had always looked indifferent, was actually a little shy at this moment, and spoke in a low voice hesitantly. Liang Hui, I seem to be in love. Liang Hui stopped in surprise, looked at Song Qingshu in disbelief, and suddenly burst into loud laughter. Har 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 har. Har har har. The laughter was so loud that it could be heard throughout the playground. You can still laugh. Add 9 more laps. The dark-faced instructor felt his ground being impacted, and then turned to the team. I can't be too gentle with you. Song Qingshu stared at Liang Hui with resentment in his eyes, and only spoke after he stopped smiling. I've only just met a girl for about half a day. Should I confess my feelings to her right away? After frowning and thinking carefully for a long time, Liang Hui opened his mouth, then immediately closed it again and continued to look like he was thinking. Song Qingshu was not impatient at all, but rather looked forward to it even more. Don't worry, take your time to think about it. You've always been popular with women since you were a child. Good brother, teach me. From now on, I will call you Ge, our half-brother. Looking at Song Qingshu, who was extremely expectant, Liang Hui suddenly smiled. I don't know. I'm usually confessed to by girls. I don't know how to take the initiative to confess. I'll strangle you to death. A blush suddenly appeared on Song Qingshu's honest face. He rushed towards Liang Hui, grabbed his neck and shook him violently. I was wrong. Stop making trouble or you will have to play more laps. Liang Hui was the first to admit his mistake jokingly. After the two ran together for a while, Liang Hui asked curiously. Who are you in love with? As expected, Song Qingshu, whose face had turned from black and red to purple, clenched his lips tightly and refused to speak. Let me guess, could it be that roommate of the campus beauty Liu University? Liang Hui didn't remember many girls in his mind, and since Song Qingshu had a very pleasant conversation with her yesterday, he made a casual guess. As a result, Song Qingshu on the side lowered his head even lower. What the hell? No way. We just met yesterday. Liang Hui had a good impression of Liu Yufei. She had an outstanding smile, was dignified and quiet, and had a great temperament. In short, he would like her at first sight. She was a typical Chinese beauty. I had a casual chat with her yesterday and found that we have a lot in common and have a lot of topics to talk about, Song Qingshu explained. Although Liang Hui was reluctant to attack his best friend, he also didn't want him to fall into deeper pain. You have to be careful, because that's a dimensionality reduction attack. Just look at his appearance, he must be very knowledgeable. He might be deliberately cooperating with you. And don't confess your feelings to him since you just met him. Girls are very disgusted by boys who confess their love as soon as they meet. Remember, girls are creatures who like love, not boys. Any boy will do, as long as he can satisfy her self-love fantasy. Although Song Qing-shu didn't understand, he was greatly shocked. He nodded, not quite understanding. It's best to keep an ambiguous distance, right? Almost. Now you just need to chat with her more often, try to occupy more of her time, and slowly walk into her heart. Changing his previous reserved look, Song Qing-shu grinned and patted Liang Hui's shoulder vigorously. When I become your brother, I will treat you to wedding candy. Liang Hui didn't expect that Song Qing-shu's physical fitness was also very good. Although it was not as good as his own, the ceiling of humanity, it was enough to beat most people. During the break in military training, the campus beauty of Liu University appeared in everyone's sight again. Popularity plus 100. Liang Hui curled his lips helplessly. The popularity that the school beauty could bring him was pitifully small. Because the classmates were already used to the school beauty giving milk tea to Liang Hui, and they didn't think that they were in love. Have you ever seen a man embarrass his partner in front of everyone? So they are definitely not in a relationship, they are most likely brother and sister. The campus beauty of Liu University wore a light blue dress with small floral patterns, tied her hair into a high ponytail, and walked on tiptoe with her arms behind her back. Pure and lively. The boys' gazes were even more obsessed, and some even drooled. While Liu Shuqi was looking for Liang Hui, she also noticed the expressions of other students, with a hint of arrogance and a little joy on their faces. Humph! I dressed up specially today. It seems that Liang Hui is right. I am really suitable for the pure style, unlike that slutty vixen, humph. Liang Hui looked at the campus beauty Liu Da in front of him and calmly took out the specially prepared change from his pocket. This time, it's a little different. Liang Hui paused as he took the milk tea and asked, why is it different? Do I have to pay more? Even though they were used to it, the eyes of the students around were still all focused here. One reason was that they were relatively free after the military training, and the other was that the beauty of Liu University was still very pleasing to the eye. Today is an important day. Let me be frank. I have been sending you milk tea for such a long time. Don't you feel moved at all? Liang Hui, I like you. Liu Shuqi took a deep breath and shouted loudly, her face turning red with excitement. Popularity value plus 20,000. Popularity value plus 10,000. Popularity value plus 60,000. In an instant, the reason that maintained the boy's fragile heart was shattered. They are not siblings. The campus beauty of Liu University confessed her love to Liang Hui. There was silence, and then there was unbearable shouting and noise. My beloved goddess actually took the initiative to confess her love to a man. I can't accept it. Liang Hui, you're just more handsome, have more talents, and are better at martial arts. Other than that, woo-woo, you're indeed much better than me, woo-woo. The scene was in chaos. Only Liang Hui's place remained calm. Liu Shuqi looked at Liang Hui expectantly with a smile on her face. It was clear from her expression that, even if you reject me, I will persist. Liang Hui did not respond immediately, but turned his head to look at Song Qing-shu next to him with amusement. You see, it's usually the girls who confess to me first.